This is all I've got at the moment.
Just
So
use
when
one.
an order
I
is
brought
put
my
in,
own expected.
yeah. So when an order is
max
put in,
anyway.
I'll get more.
There we go. A little bit over.
Shit,
There we go. Okay, so
That's a big old Steiner.
I fucking love this thing.
last time, welcome to the stream. Okay, last time we got to Finn Rasda, the Grey Capital as it's called, which is our steampunk-esque capital, where all law enforcement is a bit skewered.
Yeah, I like it.
For the new player, Finn Rasda's discs, and it's sort of like a large, sort of like skyscraper, is the way to describe it, a very large skyscraper. Maps are on the table, I believe, so you can have a general idea. I'm not very artistic. So,
No.
excuse
No.
the paint. So yeah, and they're marked off as well. They got to Finn Rasda, had a little bit of issue with getting visas, specifically with Ty, who
Who's
Yeah.
not intimidating at all.
it was not intimidating at all. Where they met the new player, Kylan, a shy Amosar, who has sort of some connections with divine energy and sort of like sensed it on you guys and found sort of like kindred spirits off from the get-go. Granted, he was a bit suspicious, I believe.
Yes.
Well, he's suspicious of everyone at this point.
It's very hard to trust them. You don't know them very well.
Yeah.
Then really.
They eventually got into Finn Rasda. This party split into two, which is always the most fun bit. One side of the party tried to open a business and did an auction to sell an item, and eventually set up their own business on the third disc, where they got their own house. Meanwhile, our vigilante went to find out some more information about his bounty to try and kill Olaf, Ol. It's Ol, the renegade half orc. He eventually went to the magic. He went back and forth between Lavish Darling for information, and eventually went to the magic college to use some sort of reinforcements to try and capture this guy. And they've arranged to sort of do a meeting with this guy to sort of like to capture him in about a week's time.
Yep.
Other than that, the party set up shop. They hired 1 or 2 NPCs. They're all set up and ready to go. Got their own little anvil and furnace and whatever. Other than that, they all went to run a basin and started sacrificing each other's blood. They got random things, including they got an animated sword, an animated gun, and then one of them was gold, the one that I remember is the Red Hag, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was interesting.
And nobody could speak Sylvan, except you talked through your familiar, eventually through proxy, and eventually she just walked out. Basically, was. Because I couldn't roll initiative, she'd kill you all.
Yeah.
Look at the
Give
cows
us
as well.
cows.
Oh yeah.
Spider cow,
Oh yes, they
flying
got multiple cows, one climbing cow, one flying cow, and one cow that can somehow talk. So you've got 3 cows.
We need to think about a name for the talking cow. It seems.
Daisy.
And Farmer Jim is looking after them.
Expertise.
Yes, there is a little bit of nature. I completely forgot that they have cows.
We've got cows.
The final thing then is they went to see what was going on with the tournament, and they were given like brackets and tiers. So do you want me to explain that again, just in case? Oh yes,
yes,
okay. So round 1, you'd be thrown in with everybody. You'll fight random monsters. The top 16 or 8, depending on how many people they originally get, go to the next bracket, and then there's 1v1s then to the top. Top 4 gets 5,000 gold each. Top 2 gets 10,000 gold each. Number 1 gets a magic item of very rare or below their own choice. An unsurmountable amount of gold, like they haven't specified. And an old tome, which nobody's really said anything about, basically. It's just an extra, basically, that they've thrown in for some reason, and it is hosted by the 3 families that run Finn Rasda.
Extra.
other than that, I think we got to the point where we were discussing side quests, and then I said, leave it for now because you probably won't be able to do side quests at the time. And that's where we are. So, I'm trying to remember the name of what's your character's called? Kira. So we're going to do some roleplay with Kira for about 5-10 minutes to get to where the party is. So, Kira, you're currently outside Finn Rasda in a forest, and you're sort of sitting down, and you have a vision. And this nice lady, non-descriptive lady, sort of like a blurred vision, sort of like in illuminated light, should we say, comes to you and says, in no leeway terms, that basically something is happening within Finn Rasda. You've been out in the breeze for 20 years, so you ask for directions. she gives you general direction, and eventually you do make your way. You can lick a toad before you go if you like.
I think I would have just been coming off the toad licking.
Oh, right, okay.
Otherwise, I'll lose the sense of direction.
So, I want you to roll perception.
Yeah, what are my numbers on this one? Oh
Well,
god, this is going to be really bad. Okay, maybe she
Yeah.
did look at toad. It's 11.
Alright, okay. What, the roll?
Yeah, but perception.
Oh, right. So, you kind of get lost for a while.
It's the toad fading off.
It's a good couple of hours until you finally figure out where north is. You realise after you are a druid, you can see the moss, and it's like the moss is growing this way, therefore it's that way. So, and you think, why didn't I think about that before?
No, why didn't I plan this before?
So, you start walking that general direction, and it probably takes about that perception. It probably take longer than half a day. I would say about a day and a half. So you do eventually come out to the forested area, and you see sort of like this large contraption off in yonder. So you just head that general
Have I
direction.
eaten and rested in this day and a half?
Yeah, as a druid you can forage.
Yeah, you
I'm assuming you eat vegetables and
Yeah, some berries,
mushrooms and all that other stuff. A stew, a vegetable stew.
Good.
I can never, like, when I was playing druid, I could never think, like, I was the cooking person of the party. I could never make anything other than vegetable stew, because I was like, what else could you do with vegetables? I'm a meat eater, so there you go. I'm sure there's multiple things.
Fry
I'm just not creative.
Bacon, stick on the stew.
No.
Weird fashion.
Mashed potato. So you start going towards this contraption. Eventually you do get to sort of one of the gateways. I believe if you're coming from the east, you're going to the east gateway, which is the more law-binding gate. Roll intelligence. I want to see how much common sense you have in this situation.
Oh my god, it's a natural one.
Oh.
Yeah! Starting as we need to go on. Love it.
So you sort of look around and you don't have a clue what is going on.
No.
Because you've been trapped for 20 years. You kind of know how society works. This is the first time you've probably been to Finn Rasda. You've probably walked around it, but never this close to it. So you sort of you walk up to it, and it's just like you've been in London. You know, like the scanners, and you go for the underground. It's something similar to there, and you see people walking in, and you sort of like get to the gateway and start walking into the gateway, but you can't get through somehow, and you're just probably thinking, what magic is this?
Like Arthur Weasley.
Eventually, one of the guards noticed that there may be somebody trying to break into Finn Rasda.
Oh god.
And I'll walk over to you and say,
Yeah.
"Oi, what are you doing?"
I need to get through this. What is this?
It's one of those gateways, innit? You just put your card in, your visa, and then you go through like.
You lost me at gateway?
Right, so.
What's the card? Just get out some leaves from my
Nice.
Oh gosh.
Well, let's do it.
Jesus.
Nice.
Hang
How
on.
do you get through the
I need to roll now. Okay, that's not too bad. You'll take picture of it.
I got sent here. Is this? I don't understand.
He sort of looks down and he goes, "It's alright, love. I've seen you sort around, you know. Don't see many halflings from time to time, but when they do come out of the woodwork, like, they're a bit Anyway, he says, he sort of cuts himself off for the moment. He goes, I'm just gonna. He sort of like starts pushing you towards a booth, basically. So customer services essentially, and you see sort of like a 50-year-old woman with sort of like glasses, and she seems plump, quite like smooth skin, sort of like smiling a lot. And he sits you down in front of him and he says, "You got another yeah," and he sort of just walks out. And she goes, "Oh, hello. It's lovely to see you. What's your name, love?"
Hey, Kira, the halfling.
Oh,
Hello.
That's nice. So where are you from?
Oh, I don't know. Actually, it's been a while. I think over there somewhere. I've been traveling for a while, and I don't know how long I've been gone for. Actually, not from here. I know that much.
I can imagine, she says, sort of like looking you up and down like that. She's, out in the wilds, is it? Doing some sort of pilgrimage sort of stuff?
Lots of wilds and trees and.
Don't worry, we get your sort from time to time. Not very common nowadays with all of the guns going around and the technology and...
What's a gun?
It's
technology.
Oh my dear, she says, it's okay. Maybe you should have gone to the church capsule instead. But don't worry, we are well equipped to help you in your situation. Don't worry, she says.
I got sent here for help actually. I got said that there was something wrong here. I need to work that out. I have a lot to learn.
So you're here to help someone? Do you know who you're helping?
Oh, it's some otherworldly higher nature entities, and I got sent.
She looks at you sort of like blankly and she goes, "Right, okay." Oh God, we will see. Did she send you to the Met House or what?
Yeah.
She says, "Hang on a moment," and she sort of walks out of the room. And she's gone for like 5 or 10 minutes. She's left you in this room to your own devices, essentially what this is sort of like an interview room, so it's very sterile, sort of like the desk, 2 chairs, maybe a lamp, maybe some paperwork on the desk. Other than that, nothing. She's taking all of her pens with her. She doesn't want you to have pens in the room.
Wow.
Pens are a currency in a word.
Put the glove on next, the white glove.
After about 10-15 minutes, unless you want to do something, because the doors technically aren't locked.
What does it look like in the room?
So like I said, it's very similar to an interview room. You've got sort of like glass windows, so you can see people walking backwards and forwards. If you walked out, essentially, you'd be back to where the gateway was.
Yeah, I'm probably going to get off the chair and look around the walls, because, this... What is this? There's corners and edges.
Eventually, she comes into the room and she sees you pressing the walls, basically.
Smelling it.
She's brought in somebody wearing vestments, basically. And some sort of like a young gentleman, maybe like 20, 25, so like somebody with a little bit of life experience. For brevity's sake, most people in this plane, that because you're dealing with the human continent, they're mostly human. So if I don't mention race, they are human.
Okay.
And so if I specify a race, they are race. Other than that, they're usually human. So sort of like a young man in his 20s, mid-20s, sort of like tan skin. His vestments are sort of like a green colour, and he sort of has like a quarterstaff behind him. And he sort of like leans down towards you and he goes, "Oh, hello, what's your name?"
Hello, I'm Gira the Halfling.
What?
I'm very new here.
Well, I've been told that, so have you been given a mission?
It's not so much as a mission, just I have a calling, you see.
We all have a calling, he says. You've got to be a little bit more specific, I'm afraid.
Oh, I spend a lot of time in the wilderness with the animals, and we got a bonding, and they said that things are quite broken and in need of repair, and I got sent here to possibly work out what's going on, because there's just a vibe they're telling me about, and I got sent here because the animals don't go here. And
they don't really. Yeah, they tend to stay far away from ashes and steam and burning metal.
Yeah, I don't think they'd like that.
No. My name's Jeff, by the way.
Kira, nice to
It's
meet you
lovely
again.
to meet you. He shakes your hand sort of like violently. And he goes, so, I'm assuming you're a druid?
Yeah.
Oh, well, I'm a druid as well. I practice in the church capital, so we're a bit more formal over there. But I do understand that some druids are a bit more in tune with nature.
Fair enough.
So if you've been given a mission, a pilgrimage, we can allow you into the city. You would have a partial visa, so it would be 2 weeks.
What's a visa?
Sort of like, how do I explain this? He says, it's a piece of paper. You know what paper is, right?
Yeah. Like a parchment.
Yes, it's like parchment, and it will allow you into the city. And after 2 weeks, you have to come back here and either apply for another partial visa or a permanent visa.
So I need to keep track of time and days?
Yes, he says.
I haven't done that in a long time.
I know, it can be very disjointed.
What's the date today? I should probably start doing that.
So he gives you a date. I'm really sorted out a calendar per se. But let's just say it's a Monday.
Cool. So it's a Monday, so 2 Mondays from now.
Yes, that's right.
Okay.
That's right.
I can get that. I can do this.
So I can help you go to the church on the 4th level.
Okay.
And we might be able to help you there. I could give you a little tour if you like.
Well, okay, cool.
No, okay. So he'll, for the next 2 hours, just for sake of breathancy, he shows you the first disc, which is essentially where all the farmer hands live, and sort of like where the entry level, so there's some couple of inns and stuff like that. But it's very slum-like, so there's a main street, and then everything's like compact together, so it's like a lot of houses in this large place, basically.
Okay.
And then out on the outside here, so you've got the fields. Oh no, it's marked on the map, isn't it?
Yeah.
Putting it down. And then you've got elevators going up and down the discs, basically. So disc 1 is like that. You then take you to disc 2, which is basically a theme park. And there's casinos and sort of stalls. Basically, their entertainment district.
Wow.
And then he will like briefly take you to disc 3, because normally people don't go to disc 3 without a business pass. And he'll sort of like take you outside and around the elevator on disc 3, but keep an eye on you. Roll perception.
Oh, not again. 11 again.
Right, okay. That doesn't help me. So while you're on this disc, you sort of look around, and although you're not seeing anything, you feel like this is where you're supposed to be on this specific disc. But this disc, it's basically the industrial disc. So there's a lot of smithies, workshops.
Which disc are you on, sorry?
Businesses.
3?
Yeah,
Okay,
so
3.
there's this basically a tour guide. They can tell that she's a fish out of water, basically, so they give her an extra help. There's a sort of like your taxes get basically in action, basically. Helping the lowly and unfortunate. So you get a feeling that this is the disc that you're meant to be on, and he starts taking you back to the elevator.
But what kind of feeling am I going to really be getting? Just some kind of...
You feel like, roll religion.
Okay. 18.
Oh, it's not too bad. Based off the vision that you had previously, she didn't mention anything, but she's emphasised the word help. So, for that foregone conclusion, you feel like whatever help that you need to provide is here, basically.
Okay, so I'm just gonna, as he walks away, I'm just gonna kind of stop and go, I'm gonna tug him on his robe and be like, wait, I think this is where I'm meant to be. I'm not sure, there's a lot of new stuff, but I got a feeling in my noggin.
And he looks down at you and goes, right.
What is this place?
So, this is our business district, industrial district. This is where they make all of their tools and equipment.
I was very good at business.
I
My
mean,
family was good at that.
well, I can imagine. So you are a halfling. So, but the problem is you don't have a business visa. So technically, you shouldn't be here. You're only here because I'm basically trying to get you to fit in.
Why would I get the feeling that this is where I'm meant to be?
I don't know. He says, are you getting visions or scrying or?
Am I?
It's just mostly feet.
It's a tingling.
It's like a tingle.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like it's your toads in action.
Yeah, I mean, you're a druid. You do understand.
He says to a certain extent, but like I said, I'm more constructed. He said, so I pray every day, and sometimes I get guidance, and sometimes I don't.
Are there other people in the?
It's very busy, so there's a lot of people around here.
Yeah, that's overwhelming for my character.
Yeah.
This is for mine as well, no worries.
If is there any way I can get this visa thing?
So you'd have to open your own business, or you'd have to join your own business.
Whoa.
So you'd either have to be hired by someone, or you'd have to make your own business, your own franchise, he says. I think that's a little bit out of your comfort zone. I mean, if you want to apply for a job, I could take you there.
What kind of jobs?
Well, it depends. We've got lots of businesses here. It varies, he says. It's mostly industrial, so things like building weapons and armours and gears. But we do have things like, you'd love to work in a florist, right? Or a tea shop. We've got a couple of those here.
I'm good with flowers.
Yes, he says. So I could take you there, he says, to the board, he says.
Okay. Flowers. At least there's flowers here.
In some places, he says, don't get too comfortable, he says. So I pat you on the shoulder.
Okay.
So,
I'm already on a job though, you know.
but miracles can work in many ways, he says. Maybe you're meant to do a job here, he says. Maybe you were meant to be constructive, not destructive, he says.
I wouldn't be destructive anyway.
Oh, well, rather than obstructing and destructing the zone we're in right now, he says, I'm going to lead you to the adventures post, and we'll see if there's anything there for you,
Okay.
he says.
Okay.
So we'll start walking you towards the tavern, and roll religion again.
15.
Now roll straight up dexterity.
6.
Okay, that's
Oh wait, even worse is 5.
Jesus.
which actually works out. You start walking around the place, and he's showing you from to where the postage is, and then eventually you come across a middle-sized sort of business with sort of a small garden in front of it, and this is one of the few places that you've seen where there's actually been grass. So you're quite and there's a little tree and everything.
Is this the same place I go to?
No,
This is
this is their
Oh,
business.
yeah.
I'm gonna run towards the grass.
Okay. And because you're low dexterity, you get over the fence and you trip basically.
Oh.
And
Has my face gone into the grass?
Yes.
I'm so
But then
Missed the best of a bad situation.
but then
Shit.
yeah, but then as you looked up, there's 3 cows. One of them is climbing the tree, and the tree is slightly bent. One of them is currently screaming at the cow climbing the tree.
I imagine he sounds like Patrick Stewart. It's got to be said.
I can actually get a good image of that in my head.
Yeah, it's the cow speaking like Patrick Stewart. I'm done.
I mean, if you can do that voice.
No, of course I can't.
And then you see a cow tethered to a rope with a sign attached to it. It's just floating and just going boo, just floating in the air.
Is the druid still with me?
He's kind of outside the gate and looking at this spectacle basically with me. He's just like,
Look up at him and look at the cows. Tucker just rubbing him. This isn't normal.
he says, no, gravity doesn't work this way, he says.
Does it normally not work this way, or is it?
Well, normally it's like feet on the ground, love, but not like this, he says. I think we should just walk away, he says.
No, this is weird. I'm gonna try and speak to the cows and be like, are you guys okay?
So the screaming cow goes, I'm living a lie!
Oh dear. What kind of a lie?
I have got sentience as a cow and it makes no sense.
Oh dear.
I don't like it, he says.
Oh dear.
They feed me, obviously, which is alright, but you know, I have an existential crisis like every 5 minutes.
It doesn't help that we're in this city. It's not a good place for cows.
Well, there's grass here. Betsy doesn't mind it, and he sort of looks up to the floating cow, and the floating cow's just like, no.
Why is your friend floating?
I don't know, they didn't really explain that. They said we came out of a bowl. Another reason why I question life on a minute-to-minute basis, he says.
Oh, I'm very new here and I don't get what's going on.
You don't.
Hearing the screaming, Farmer Jim comes out and he's just like, "Oi, what did you do with my cows like?"
What did you do to your cows?
Oh, well, technically I'm looking after them, love. But, you know, I'm just hired and I do the business here.
But one of them, it doesn't seem like any of them are quite happy. It's not a good cow care.
I know what I'm doing, he says. They're all fine.
One's floating, one's screaming. I don't think you know what looking after means.
It means that they're not dead. So that's a positive, isn't it?
Just gonna look back at the druid.
The druid says that, sort of like looking like questionably, and he goes, "I think you found the place you need to be," he says.
You think so?
Definitely a place when you're licking toads. Vision.
I mean, I kind of want to free the cows, but I don't think the guy's gonna let me. He's a bit scary.
Oh no, I don't know them. I look after them. If this one goes floating into the atmosphere, I'll be in trouble. I will.
I can look after them better.
Alright then, he says I'll introduce you to the owners and we'll see what they say.
Okay.
So,
Though you know, no one really owns animals.
he goes, right, okay. This is exactly. How'd you get milk and eggs then?
Well, yeah, you ask them nicely though.
You asked them nicely.
Oh god.
And the cow stream in the background goes, I like to be treated nicely.
Oh god.
See?
You've ended up with a
We all do. We all do, sweetie.
Why am I breathing?
Well, otherwise you would be dead.
It's like meat.
Just gonna say over to the cow.
So he takes you into this
I
house,
can't eat anything.
sort of like pushing you in.
Discussion.
It's your generic like
Fine.
small
It wasn't
business.
very logical.
So there's to the left
Just
of you you've
leave
got
that
sort of like
one
a
day.
small smithy area and anvil and furnace. In front of you to the right you've got like a small reception
Anyone
desk.
else hear that?
Yeah.
And
No,
then
no
you can see that there's stairs going up basically to the second floor.
Hmm.
And he says, right, okay, wait here. I need to he says, I don't know when they were going to come back actually, he says.
Well, we can't leave.
You would be probably checking out the tournament right now because that's where we left off, didn't we?
I can't remember if I went with or stayed.
Did you stay? Oh, because it may have been just these two
Yeah.
checking out the tournament.
I think it was at this point, wasn't it? Or did I go?
In which case, where would you be then?
Probably just upstairs in my room.
So you probably would have heard the commotion downstairs, and you probably would have heard it if you were.
Yeah, I'm not bothered. I'm leaving him deal with it.
Okay.
That's why I employ him. It's his problem, not mine.
Okay.
Jim, not me, I'm presuming.
Oh, and yeah, Jim, yeah.
So eventually, you hear Jim downstairs going, "We got a wild one. We do. Wants to look after the cows. She does. Obviously, I do that."
Finish putting my gun together, out my door, lock my door behind me, and straight downstairs.
Right, okay, so Jim sort of like says, this one's a bit of a... Yeah, just talk to her, he says. I'll make you do the decision making, like he says.
I'll come down with you.
Yeah, cool. Straight description of look.
Heights?
Look.
No, I want to know both of your heights. I want
Yes,
to know
what
who's
height
shorter.
are you?
Yeah, so I'm really short, 2'7".
Fucking hell, that's shorter than me.
There we go. That's what I wanted to
Oh,
hear.
how short are you?
3 foot and a half.
You can actually look him in
Cool.
the face and see his face.
Yeah, I'm quite slender and pale, a little bit of rosiness in the skin here and there.
Are you a halfling or a gnome?
Halfling?
You are a halfling. Wow, they can go that short?
Yeah, on average.
Yeah, shit, fair. Nice. Yeah, sweet, okay. Dress?
So really big, oversized hood with like a kind of like the robe kind of attaches itself to it. It's like a greeny brown kind of color, quite
Nice.
basic. I think that's really about it. She's got a nice staff. Got a fringe,
Sweet, yeah.
long blonde hair.
Much like that. Long trench coat, proper western. Think western. Thick brimmed hat as it is. It's a darker green.
Nice.
You're short enough to probably see it. It's a scar on my right cheek.
Interesting.
I'll obviously be like, I'm the twice still guy.
Yeah.
You might notice me first, but it's the like decently tall, what you'd presume to be a human, probably, with jet black hair, but gold eyes and a very pale skin.
Okay.
And I'm wearing a black cloak which covers my entire chest and back and goes down and below are black robes.
Nice. Nice.
Jim, what the hell? Why have you... What?
So, like, this lady, she sort of, like, ran into the cows and started talking to them. And she was like, "You're not looking after them." And I told her, "Yeah, that's what I'm paid to
At
do."
this point, I'm gonna be at the couch and she's stroking, which is
The druid is actually behind you because he's coming with you, and he goes, "Oh, I'm so sorry. I do apologise. She's new around here, and we're helping her try."
Yes, we can tell she's new.
Well, we're trying. I've been sort of like hired to try and get her accommodated to the situation that she's in. She's apparently been on a pilgrimage, and she's been sent here by someone to help.
Who
something.
sent you?
well, the people who I follow and the animals of which I follow.
Okay, and they are?
Well, there is kind of, they do speak to the gods, you see, and I kind of got given like a message from them. So it's Aetherius.
Aetherius?
Yeah.
Who the... it is one of the gods, isn't
yeah.
it? Yeah.
No.
Can't remember which one is that.
The light and life goddess who's currently being looked after by the elves in the Feywild.
Cool, okay. Oh, right, sure, so you're talked to by an actual... Okay.
Well, the animals and nature is communed through it, and we talk a lot. I've been spending a lot of time with them. We're really close.
Yes. Okay.
And they don't know about this place.
And why are you talking to my cows?
Well, one of them is screaming, and
Yes.
I don't understand why one is floating.
It's a magic curse thing. Don't worry about it.
Curse is not a good thing, even for cows, especially cows.
Probably gonna kill him soon anyway.
What?
Food. Need to live.
No, there's vegetables.
Nothing beats a good bit of steak.
Why? Don't think. I'm gonna ask the talking cow. Do you like living like this? You said you didn't. Just to tell.
The tall cow's currently outside is only hit half the conversation. He goes, "What's the steak?"
You are!
Oh no.
No, but I thought I was a cow.
You are a cow, but you're also a steak. You're many steaks.
No.
Oh,
So is that my self-worth, he says?
More or less.
Oh.
I'm just gonna fall onto the floor at this
Wouldn't
point.
it be,
and go, what is this?
Magic meat
and
bag.
so-
It's different,
But
perhaps.
he hasn't, nobody's said for him to come
knows?
out yet. Yeah.
Potentially.
I think he's probably currently working on a dagger or something.
Who, sorry?
A Derek.
Oh yeah, he's probably just enchanting stuff in the corner
My,
like he
my,
usually
my
does.
family used to eat meat, but they didn't put them in this kind of misery.
They're not in misery.
Screaming!
He's in the middle of an existential crisis. He's a cow and he can talk.
He was born yesterday.
Calm
And he
him.
was born yesterday, yeah. We've tried.
Let's compare him to a baby.
This isn't, if you're planning on killing him, this isn't, good for him.
I think he's winding you up.
I
Oh,
haven't
God.
dealt with people in a very long time,
No.
and I've met some nice ones. My druid friend is lovely, I think, and I don't know what
If you're
you
new
guys-
here, how the hell have you got up to this desk?
I got taken around. I got a tour,
It's a special thing for people
and
in,
I got
in
given
need, he
this.
says.
I got given this visa thing. Do you have one?
She's got a partial visa basically.
I get my
We
full
show our
visa
full
out.
visas out.
What's the aesthetic difference?
Fuck all.
So not
I think
so basically yours is essentially a laminated piece of paper. So think like a new £5 note essentially with your name and like generic information. His is more like a small passport.
Okay.
So like leather bound sort
I'm
of.
gonna
Like
turn to Jim. How come his looks better than mine?
well, he's got a business passport and you've got a temporary
you
one.
mean one of them ones that I gotta get to?
Yes.
So you get work here,
Oh.
or you need to be hired by someone here. He says.
Oh.
Why have they told you
Just
to come
hire
to
that.
Finrasda?
Hmm.
Why did they tell you to come here?
Well, I got told that they wanted to find out more about this place because something seems wrong.
There's many things wrong in this city.
Then I guess they were right, as they usually are.
There we are. So, good day.
Weird day.
At this moment, Derek will come out
Yeah.
and sort of like, oh, isn't that a dagger feel like? He goes,
I put my head in my hands.
What you see with Derek is a giant metal man.
how's Joe Khan? You play magic, don't you? Khan, liberated?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Khan.
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 You see Khan at the door.
Damn.
Pretty much.
Damn.
Yeah.
He goes, oh, hello, little one. He goes, what are you doing here?
You're shiny.
Yeah, I am. I'm Derek, he says.
You're nice to
You'll
meet
actually
you.
shake your hand by that. And he goes, oh,
Oh, okay.
you're the first person that I've seen genuinely smile, he says.
It's quickly fading.
he says, please don't.
Okay.
He says, so what are you doing here, like?
Well, at the moment, all I know is that there's cows that's floating and screaming.
Oh, he says, that's a daily occurrence.
I don't think the cows agree to this.
Well, I didn't agree to this, he says.
Oh, we're on the same page then.
These cows were magically summoned.
Oh.
So what are you doing here, he says.
Well, I've been told that I've been sent here by nature because basically it just seems, and I think they're very right, that there's something very wrong with this land.
He says, oh, nobody's questioning that, he says.
Even Derek's
Do you
coming
think
round.
Do you think you could help with that?
Well, I'm trying to get in contact with Moradin, but Moradin kind of likes the atmosphere, he says.
Who's Moradin?
The goddess of invention
Okay.
and basically ingenuity. So
What
she's
I know of this
tinkerer.
god.
You would know them by name and basic information.
Okay.
So you may or may not have breathed, maybe said hi to them at one point, basically.
Okay. Yeah, okay. I also get the whole thing with the gods and stuff, I guess. What do they say about this place? Maybe they like this place more than mine.
Well, they've been quiet for a while. Well, funnily enough, they were quiet in a while until these guys started showing up, and then they started randomly getting visions and stuff, he says.
Oh, visions, okay.
Do you get those?
Yeah, I do actually. That's why I'm here.
All right, he says, but he sort of turns to you and he goes, I don't sense divine energy on her though.
All right.
So it means she's not touched, but she's getting visions. He says.
So she's not touched, but she's talking to the gods.
Yes.
Right.
That's weird. He says.
Okay.
I don't know why that's.
So
happening.
she's worth keeping.
I mean,
I'm saying it like that.
Yeah. I mean, she's a druid. He says. She looks like you're a druid, right? Yeah, she's a druid. She talks to animals.
This is about keeping me.
Oh,
Am I
right.
on not like the cows.
Simon is very,
not like cows.
very sympathetic towards this new person, as 2 weeks beforehand he was very much
Yeah, like in
in the same
position.
position. But I didn't have any visions, I just got sent this way because I was running away.
Yeah, you were. Yeah, don't know why. I haven't asked you.
It's not important.
It's
Well,
not.
I mentioned
Oh,
about
yeah.
my problems with elves.
Yeah, that's all we had. Yeah, sweet, cool. Yeah.
So Derek goes, right, so yeah, you should hire her, like.
Oh, I'm not paying her.
Well,
Is she qualified?
do you need money?
I need one of them business visa thingies.
Oh, then just put her
Okay,
on.
what can you bring to the business? What have you got?
You're the one saying you want me. I don't know. I can see if my animal friends want to help you, but given the floating cows, I don't know.
Can you grow herbs?
Yeah.
Perfect.
Oh God, here we go.
Don't know what's turning talking cows into steak.
No. I'm thinking
I
we've got
can
a
even
business
talk
with a
to
guy.
What makes steak better taste better than with some rosemary?
Seasoning.
Sage.
Seasoning.
And some cheese sauce.
Thyme.
Yeah.
No, we've got a garden. Just get a apothecary's kit inside as well. Hire an apotheker. Boom, health potions
We're
come
turning into
forever.
a general store.
Oh God.
A magical general store. Fuck the rest of the businesses in this country. We are the fucking one.
So Derek sort of goes, oh, so we're keeping her?
Yes.
Oh, he goes, welcome to the team, he says, and he starts shaking your hand vigorously.
Garville,
Huh?
how much we paying?
Okay.
I ain't paying it. Fuck off.
What are you gonna do about the cows?
Nothing.
Just say that out loud. I
Yeah.
was like whispering.
Yeah. I ain't paying her nothing.
Can I get a business visa?
At this moment,
Yes.
you two walk in
Yeah.
from basically learning about the tournament, basically.
Are you a small creature then? Are you still classified
I'm
as
small,
medium?
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm small.
Hey Garville, did you hear about the tournament?
Huh?
Tournament.
Ooh.
Money.
Yes.
Why is there a pile of dirt on the floor? Oh, it's moving.
Oh damn.
Oh, introductions. Okay then, so
Yeah. Descriptions of.
How do you look?
do you
Yeah.
want to go first or do you want me to go first?
I am 3 times your height, if not a little bit more.
Yeah.
I am wearing black pub robes. I have a grey tiara, well, black and grey tiara. And I have grey skin and grey eyes and dark hair.
Cool.
I look very.
Don't forget your trousers.
Oh yeah.
Trousers of many fashions.
Yeah, they're purple at the moment.
Okay, cool.
I'm about 6 foot, dark skinned, sort of shoulder length black hair with green eyes. I'm wearing sort of noble's clothes but without all the frills and puffs part. And we've got a very elegant long sword over my back and a holster on my shoulder with what appears to be a very small crossbow in it.
Cool. Nice. Cool.
It's a tournament.
Yeah.
Go on.
You may want to sign up for that. There's lots of money involved.
I'm okay with this.
4th place gets at least 5,000 gold,
Payday, bitch.
and then 2nd place gets another 10,000 on top of that, apparently. And then 1st place gets even more money and extras.
We could use this to advertise.
Yeah, exactly.
And
Yeah.
more customers.
There's a way of getting in touch with the organisers to sell some weapons.
Considering you've only been here for like a week or two, you're learning really quickly.
Well, 60 intelligence, I'm assuming.
Oh.
Yeah. I turn to... What's your name, sorry?
Kira, I'm a halfling.
Warwick. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Halfling... No?
No. And you've only learned that I'm a gnome because you're from this world, aren't you?
Yeah.
Are you from this world? You don't know that I'm a gnome, then I'm just a halfling-ish, but I've got blue skin. That's something I've
That's
got.
what I said.
Blue skin.
I'm a human
Yes.
to your eyes.
Okay.
Halfling, you're older. Still don't know what you are. You're still a halfling. Nice to meet you, Kira.
Nice to meet you too.
I'm gonna reach down and give you shake of hand.
What brings you here to this weird place of shiny?
I point to a board in the window saying that basically says "Come in for hired help."
Okay.
That's me.
If you're here for hired help, can you help the cows?
What do they want?
They were screaming and floating.
But what do they want?
I'm gonna ask the cows what they want. So, hey, cows, what would you want?
We want a union. No.
Oh, cut it.
No. They go, oh, we're fine. We just want grass and I just want to know the reason why I exist. He says.
Well, in all fairness, there is grass here.
I wasn't complaining about that. He says.
Wait, you wanted grass? There's grass.
Yes, he says. The solution has been met. He says.
I think I know why you're here. I can't explain how you were here. I know why you were here.
Well, I have these legs.
Whose blood did we use on the talking cow?
Minotaurs.
Started with a minotaur
Minotaur.
and then another
Oh
cow.
well.
I think all Minotaur blood we carry the cows. So I'm just
Okay then.
Yeah,
Next
Derek's
So
family
here's-
multiple cows, basically.
Can you explain to this cow this? Okay then. So we've got this bowl made by hags. Okay? We put some minotaur blood in it and these cows came out.
Wow. That's not usually my kind of expertise.
But now they know why they exist.
Oh well, I could probably help them with their existential crisis, but the thing with the blood
Cow
and
psychology.
the hags.
Oh, don't worry about that.
What does the flying cow eat? Does it like float towards the tree that he
I presume he just floats down
Yeah.
and eats and floats back up.
Yeah. Essentially, he's just eating leaves off the tree. Essentially.
Well,
We're gonna run out of food for them sooner or later.
yeah, so I'm gonna turn around to the sentient cow and be like, yeah, I can offer some counselling and help you with
Cow.
this awakening you've had. If you like, I can give your other friends some sort of awakening, and then.
He says no. They just seem to shit a lot. He says.
It's fertilizer.
Yeah, that's what cows do. That's their part of the ecosystem in the universe.
I don't know why, but whenever I do it, I just feel shame. He says.
It might be better to put him
Don't
down.
worry, it gets easier as time goes by.
It gets easier to shit myself. Okay.
He's acting like he's got dementia or something.
Oh.
But yeah. What? So you're now helping out, are you?
Yeah.
He's cleaning up.
I don't know. There's a guy over there talking about owning me, but he says he can get me.
We won't own you. You just help out. Like me, I technically work for him, but I don't. I just sort of run my own little thing inside his shop.
Okay.
Basically lodges.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't even take rent off you guys. Bastards.
I did say you get no. You've got to cut and things that I sell for you and other such things. So you can.
Yeah, I mainly know that I need to get one of them business visa thingies to get to the place I think I need to be at. So.
Well, I can technically hire you as an accomplice for my work.
Oh my god.
I don't want to do more.
You're gonna have your own. Who's Sherlock Holmes' sidekick?
Watson.
Watson. Yeah, you have your own Watson. Watson, the halfling Watson. They can talk to cows.
I love animals.
Well, everyone can talk to a
Yeah.
specific cow.
Wow.
Yeah. So if you need a business visa, I can easily help you with
Well,
that.
I don't know,
I'm curious
because-
actually.
There's two people who
Can
can
I
offer
send,
that now. I
um,
don't. I just need
A
the
message
visa.
to
Then
Patrick.
go
Right,
from there.
yeah.
So like he.
Well, if you want to
if I
earn
send
some
a
coin
message
in
to
the,
Patrick,
at the
Patrick
same
just-
time, I can
Just saying
easily
like
use
how
the
you
coin.
doing. I'm seeing
I
how he
don't
reacts
really
out of
mind
the
about
voice in
the
his
coin.
head.
Just I have to
Who's
work
back at
out
the
what I
cows?
need
The
to
talking
do.
cows.
I know.
Patrick,
And
Yeah.
are you
Is that
guys
all we
friends?
named him?
Or you
Oh,
just
but I
work,
thought
or
they've decided.
We're work friends.
Did you agree
Oh,
on
okay.
Patrick? Is that his name?
I mean,
Yeah.
I think he said something about flowers, and I can do flowers, and I like flowers.
Yes, you can grow the garden out nicely, and
Oh, that sounds fun.
then you can like make them into potions.
Reminds me of my hut. I don't know how to. I don't know potions at the minute.
Okay, we'll hire someone who can then.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah, we'll hire someone who can. It's fine.
So-
just get us the batch, and we're happy.
So the druid's been in the doorway the entire time, and he explains the situation. If you want to hire her, all you need to do is put her name on the business visa. There's like a clause at the bottom, and essentially you wouldn't own her per se, but in layman's term, you would be responsible for her.
Oh God.
I mean,
But you're responsible for
All of them.
all of them.
All of them.
I would be happy to learn things. I'd be happy
Do I
to learn
technically get
potions.
my own
Good.
business
Then
visa? 'Cause I'm
You
working-
didn't
I'm
apply
just-
for one.
No, would
Your
I-
name was put on his.
Your name is on this one.
If you wanted to
I-
apply for your own business visa, you could, but
Yeah.
you need to
I am
sell your
quite
idea,
literally
basically.
responsible.
Would I
for
be
it.
I'd
able to
only
work
make
out
the
with
good
same building
potions,
that
though. I
can't-
wouldn't
yeah.
make the ones that hurt or cows.
Within an agreement, yes, but you would probably have to have the same lead as backers.
You know Ty can't promise that.
Yeah, I do. That's the problem.
We summoned a red hag into the city.
Yeah, we did, as well as 3 cows.
Well, technically, she disappeared, so you don't even know where she's gone.
Yeah.
She could be in the city. She could have murdered 500 people. You don't know.
Yeah, but they can't trace that back to us.
Nope.
Surely not.
Nope.
Yeah.
Okay,
Okay.
so
So
shit. We'll just blow the bowl up if we need to.
It's weird as with the bolts.
Boom.
so with that open,
Some blood.
Oh, is it? I'll put wet gunpowder in there.
let's just say. So you share what information you have about the tournament, both of you, which I explained before, unless you want me to explain it again.
No.
Okay.
Lots of prizes.
And
that's
then
all.
you would have gone to see the side quest of the quests board, and you would have helped us see the only silver quest that piqued interest, which is the fire direct one.
There wasn't any new blacks, were there?
There was one, like I said, it was for the Archpope.
Yeah,
And
and
you-
I'm not
you
travelling back there
You
again.
completely ignored it because you were like, no.
Not travelling back there again.
You're not gonna kill a religious figure.
Well, not
Not
without
yet.
convincing.
So what name am I
One, not
putting
without
down?
convincing, and two,
My
not
name is
unless I-
Kira, and I'm a halfling.
Kira, Kira.
Yeah. What's your name?
Garfield.
Garviel. Fuck you. Garviel. Garviel Loken.
How am I spelling that today?
G-A-R.
Jar.
V-I-E-L.
Vial.
Garviel and Loken. L-O-K-E-N. Garviel Loken.
Okie dokie. And what's the rest of you people's names?
Kylan. K-Y-L-A-N.
You can just call him Kyle if you like, but he doesn't like that.
He doesn't like
Oh,
it.
okay.
And Ty.
How am I spelling that today?
T-A-I.
Oh, T-A-I. I've written I've got it on the deep end.
And
Warwick, 2 gays. Warwick, 2 gays. W-A-R-R-I-C-K, and then 2 gays. As you would expect the 2 words to be spelled as one.
I'm gonna turn around to the druid and be like, "What's your name?"
The druid is gone.
Oh.
He's not. You're not his
Where
problem
did my
anymore.
druid friend go? I had a druid friend.
It's fine, don't worry about him.
We were having a talk.
Yes.
I'm Derek. He goes.
Derek, meet Kira. Kira, this is Derek.
You like animals, he says. Do you have any?
He's got Lenny syndrome.
Well, I don't own any. You don't just own animals.
Do you have cats?
Not really, no.
Do you?
Cats are independent beings.
Do you have wolves?
No.
Because I did meet them both one time. It did hug me with its teeth.
That only means that they're biting you.
Consider that a kiss, Derek.
Was it hungry?
I don't know. I told it what I was doing. It didn't really seem to be interested.
Oh dear. Can you speak their language?
They have a language, he says.
Well, kinda.
Well, cucumber, can I say, and you'll notice a red little bracelet turns into this rabbit. A red rabbit.
Hmm.
He's got Lenny syndrome.
I like cucumber, Derek goes.
Yeah, and you're not touching cucumber. My cucumber is precious to me.
Oh God.
I'm gonna do like the sort of James Bond villain thing of holding it in an arm and stroking it, but just standing up instead.
If it turns out we have to go and throw a rabbit into Mount Doom, I'm going to be so annoyed.
We are not killing cucumber no matter what.
Everyone's got a petting
Well, I
zoo,
like to
though.
see someone who likes their pets.
A petting zoo.
Compared to this cow
Yeah,
nonsense,
cows.
it's a relief.
I'm guessing we don't have enough rooms now. We need to build another room.
Let me just.
Okay,
I
cucumber, you can go
forgot
back to your
I
door
forgot
and
to do
cucumber
floor
just
plan.
turns back into
You've
their
got
face.
five. You've got 5 rooms on the top floor.
Yeah.
You've got 1 each, and then you've got 5th floor for Tish and Jim.
Yeah.
On the bottom, then you've got the furnace and the reception area, and then in the back you have like a small kitchen cupboard area.
Cool.
If I had to hazard a guess, you'd probably may have a small room on the bottom floor.
Is
It'd be
there-
sort of like a large cupboard, basically an empty cupboard. So basically you'd be Harry Pottering.
Would
You
I-
don't take up an
basically.
awful lot of space, so...
Did I get an idea that someone like Kira would just like sleeping outside?
Yeah, I mean, how far is it back to the forest again?
Quite a
Yeah,
trek.
also extreme.
But as I've explained to him, there is a small forested area within on this disc, so you could, or you could sleep out in the garden and have a little tent.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can make a hut again. I'm used to building huts.
Yes. Then you can do that.
Yay! Because the wall thing, I'm not used to the wall thing. Yeah.
Now my other
The
employees,
cows
they
can
rent.
sleep with you as well. You can look after them.
Oh God, here
I
we
need
go.
to get them to stop screaming though. That's not very nice.
It's fine. He'll stop screaming soon.
Oh no!
If he wakes me up again tonight,
Jesus Christ!
I'm putting him out.
Well, you didn't explain the concept of time to me. He said. You said that there was a minute and an hour.
Patrick, shut up.
Oh, okay. I feel like Patrick and Derek are getting on really
Oh,
well.
Patrick, I'm surprised he hasn't Lenny'd in
So
yet.
how soon can I get one of them business visa things?
It takes
Oh, you've
how long
got
again?
Because technically, you don't need one now, essentially.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm responsible for you, so
Oh, okay, I need to.
your actions reflect on me.
Okay, you're scary.
That's the idea.
Oh no.
Lift up tiny dude.
Yeah, the
With
tiny dude
with
is really scary.
authority.
but slightly slightly taller than
Yeah. Yeah. So yes, no, your actions now reflect upon me. So be wary of what you're doing,
I just want to do what I need to do.
which is growing my garden for me.
Roll religion. Let's see what happens.
18.
19.
18.
18. You get the feeling that you're in the right place. Probably not to grow a garden, but maybe it's in your best interest to just stick with these people and see where things take you.
Yeah.
Based off your toad magic.
Do you have gardening tools as of yet?
How much are gardening tools?
If you want like your basic ones, they'd probably only be like 3-4 silver.
Yeah, that's pocket money. Okay, we have gardening tools.
What time of day is it?
It would probably be around 2-3
Do you know
p.m.
what? I'm gonna give them to Derek to make them all plaster and stuff. Because you never know when you might need to use a hoe.
You have a +2 gardening hoe.
You never know when you might need to use a hoe.
Oh God.
Oh.
That does
Hey?
lightning and fire damage.
Yep.
That soil is really turned. So yeah, onto the like I said, side
So what did you find while you were out?
Oh,
There's a couple of interesting side quests we could do.
Okay, what are they?
do you want me to go over them again?
Yeah.
You can bring the new.
If anyone comes to mind.
So
we could
you
just
said-
do a little bit of testing.
The dwarf one with them.
You said you meant there's the dwarf one, which essentially is there's a dwarf merchant gone missing between the north to Finrasda, and he was carrying an interesting metal basically, and basically he's gone missing essentially, and your job would be to find him and the cargo,
Oh, so he has oars.
possibly.
Like adamant.
You weren't really told any further information other than that.
Other sides of the discs of Finrasda open.
Somewhat. So in other words, there's places where you probably could see down, But
Anywhere you could fly a cow out of?
God.
God.
Oh God.
You're gonna do what I think you're gonna do, aren't you?
You're so evil. Whee! Just slowly floats to the sun.
Oh, and you'd fly it. It must be able to take directions. You'd train it.
You're magic carpet cow.
I can show you the world.
And it's just like somebody shacks on them, basically. So
She just in his head.
that was the one that you were interested in. Other than that, I said you've got the silver giant, the silver quest, which has got fire giant related, which essentially boils down to fire giants appeared. They were sort of like integrating with the people that they fell on, basically, and they've been there a couple of weeks. But then there's been some confusion recently.
Oh yeah, and they started taking over.
Yeah, they want to take over. They're tutorial, basically.
Deal with some giants or go and steal some metal. I mean, liberate some metal.
Some giants. Giants need to die.
And then you've got Miggins of Wonders has got a quest, and specifically he's looking for people to be in his newest show, and two, he wants you to deal with a satyr that's currently running amok in the city.
Oh, cool.
And then you would know this one. Outside the forested area to the little bit northeast, they wanted to do a logging company in one of the forests. However, they've been pushed back out several times by the forest randomly moving and displacing itself.
How does the forest move and displace itself?
Yet again, it's just a general quest. You haven't really accepted them. You'd get more information if you accepted them.
Well, I'm going to ask the druid.
Yeah,
How does the forest move?
that?
How does the forest move itself?
So, roll nature. Let's see.
Natural one.
Oh.
Oh, yes. That
Oh.
dice is shit hot.
Trees don't normally move, and that's all you know.
Fucking hell.
They have roots and shit.
Oh, they do? Fuck.
This is news to me. I'm taking notes.
Shit. Fucking bastard.
And those are all of the side quests. that you
So,
have.
yeah, they're technically your quests. Where are we going?
Yeah, I mean, I'd like to know why the trees are moving.
It's down to you. I'm taking the silver job for you if you want to, on your behalf, saying that I've got trust in you to do it.
Everything sounds so exciting.
I feel like we have a better chance of knowing what's going on with the trees now that we have a druid. Although she seems relatively clueless about
You hear Patrick laughing in the background.
Shut up, Patrick.
No one asked you. Shut up.
I know about trees.
Well, perhaps we'll take you with us.
It's like, please no. I've already just started getting adjusted to this place, he says. You can take Bessie with you, the floating one. The Bessie's just going, no.
No, she's called Zeppelin. I haven't got a one for the climbing the walls one yet.
Spider
Spider.
cow,
You did me,
spider
yeah,
cow.
spider.
Right, okay, so as a group, and the forest one you said?
Yeah,
or-
I think let's go for the first one. Let's find out what's happening now. If
Okay.
we have to pick and choose, and
Did you inquire into how much you're getting paid for it?
we need to go back to all of that nonsense.
Right, okay, so let me just read this off to you. So the quest giver essentially, the quest board is fairly larger than your average quest board because it's the capital city. So you would even have your own small reception. So the receptionist would give you the details. Generic NPC basically. So to the south, past Finraza Fields and just past the main road, there's a large forested area. It's been left untouched, as some believe it to be an old resting ground. There have been reports of trees recently moving, being in one place and being somewhere else the next. Finraza was thinking about starting a logging company there, however the situation has prevented any progress. You've been told to deal with the dryads, and the quest would reward you 1,000 gold.
Nice. Wow.
200 each.
Well, it's her quest.
It's her split.
Yeah.
It's her split.
Yes.
It'd either be your name or her name, depending on who accepts the quest.
Well, if it's Silvarks, it's
Yeah.
on behalf of
Oh,
her.
It's a bronze one.
Well, you can take that, please.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'll
I'll
take
take
that.
Yeah,
She can keep-
take that one then.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cut, it's fine.
So
What was that?
You've actually just come
Yeah.
from that area, basically,
Yeah.
so you
Oh,
know your way. Actually, would you know your way back? I'm not 100% sure.
It did take me like a day and a half to get there, and it took me a while to find north.
Roll perception.
Oh no. I got a bad feeling. 9.
Does anybody want to help?
Yeah, sure. I'll help
So you get
account for
advantage.
what you're looking for.
It's 15. So
Okay, that's a lot better.
yeah.
Instead of a day and a half, it probably takes you pretty much the day, basically. So you'd leave around 3. You'd have to have a long rest around 8-9 p.m. and then you'd be there probably like just before midday.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are you taking Derek with you?
Yeah.
Okay. Derek will be like, okay, we're going. I don't really have a backpack or anything, but he says,
What are you doing with the shop if he's not making anything?
Well, there's stuff
There's
there to be
sufficient
sold,
stuff
and,
there to be
There's
sold.
so much stuff.
and Jim and Tish can take care of the
he
logistics.
says, goodbye, Jim. Goodbye, Tish. And Tish is essentially
You'd
like,
say goodbye to Patrick as well.
oh, I don't get on with Patrick.
I thought
What?
Derek and Patrick would get on like a house on fire.
No, we've got 2 similar personalities we have. You know, two likes don't match, he says. It's like magnets. And you hear Patrick going, what's a magnet?
Don't worry.
Oh, sounds mesmerizing. I don't even know what the word mesmerizing means. It's just suddenly hit my vocabulary, and Derek goes, oh god, he's so annoying, isn't he?
Yeah. Yes, Derek.
So, do you want to role play the long rest, or do you just want to go straight there?
Is there anything to roleplay?
It's up to you guys.
Yeah, exactly. Let's group stuff.
Don't mind.
I probably wouldn't be wouldn't speak unless spoken to.
I'm cleaning a gun, a 6-shooter. That's all you see me do a lot of the time.
Scary.
Yeah.
My character would find that scary. Anyway.
You see me doing that a lot, and very often also a rifle. I've probably pulled the rifle apart in front
I'll
of
be
me.
happy to back out of the city and be walking around that and enjoying that quite a bit. That would be the main thing my character would be doing.
Yeah, makes sense.
So we've got roll perception to get there. Let's just roll perception for the night. So who wants to do the 2 night shifts?
I'll do one of the shifts.
I'll
do
do
one.
one. I've got really good dark vision, so I should see things from far away in the dark.
Okay, so you go first. Roll your perception.
That can't.
Yeah, that is cool. So that is 17.
Nothing uneventful. You do hear a couple of random wild noises, like maybe wolf in the far distance, but everything seems to know where you are, so they're staying relatively far back.
They're being wary, basically.
Yeah, basic wildlife essentially. Roll perception.
Oh,
Hey,
not very
Kaylin,
good. 8.
Kaylin, wake up. It's your shift.
Okay, that's fine. I don't sleep much these days anyway.
Animals a bit wary. Otherwise, yeah, not much to report. I say, and I'll head into my tent and
I'll keep an eye out. So I
So
rolled 8.
first thing.
Yes.
Let's roll a random encounter. It is low, so nothing happens. So you hear a couple of that. Yet again, the animals are wary of your presence, but you maybe hear a wolf, maybe a couple of foxes. Nothing major. Nothing like a big. What was it last time? A turtle the size of hands.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The size for hands.
Yeah.
The size for hands.
Yeah.
Well, not actual size, but
Hopefully.
imagine cipher. But
With a turtle.
but a turtle instead of a
You've
bug.
probably seen the scythe claws.
Yeah, you would have seen the scythe claws.
It's a monstrous, so it may have been in the Shadowfell.
Right, okay.
Well, more because of I was selling them in the shop.
Ah, right, okay. So you would have seen you would have seen some dead animal carcass.
It's now a shield and a couple of swords.
Yeah.
So
So
between wolves and scary scythe tails, ninja tails.
so wake up in the morning. Who wants to do the perception to get to the forest?
I can
I can try again.
17 plus 8.
Oh,
Oh, nice.
there you go. You make it with no issue essentially.
Yeah.
We enter the matrix.
So you get to the forest. It's sort of like it's your generic forest, but there's a clear start and finish to it. So it doesn't sort of like slowly appear. It's just suddenly in front of you. So it's just your generic. I don't want to say enchanted forest, but it feels foresty. Yeah,
There's trees everywhere.
Trees
Yeah.
and mist. And
they're quite not. There's enough room for you to walk in between the trees, but sometimes you do feel slightly claustrophobic. If you were to walk in, essentially.
Cool, yeah, I like it.
So, little look round. shall
I'm
we?
a forest
See what
gnome,
we
I
can
feel kind of at home.
Yeah, same. How much would I know of an enchanted forest that apparently just
Roll nature.
I don't kind of want to. Well, let's see. Oh, for God's sake, 11.
You're not rolling really well today, are you?
No, no.
Are you rolling the same dice? It might be changed dice.
That's the thing. I changed dice and hoped for a bit odd, and it was still shite.
You've been in this forest before, so you've got a general feel for it. So even with 11, you probably know a couple of things. You know that based on what things are sounding at, and it's just clicking with you. Like it didn't click with you, Finraza, but now you're back here. Like, oh, of course, it's probably the Dryads.
Right.
Oh shit.
Guys. So I think this has. Did any of you know anything about the Dryads?
no.
Nature
I
check?
think it's something to do with that.
Being a forest gnome, yes.
Everyone roll nature and
Yeah.
see
19 on nature.
Because you're from Waterdeep.
I'm from the forest of Neverwinter,
Yeah, and gone
but
to
I am a Waterdevian, yes.
Oh right, okay, so you got a very
21.
Yeah, so you would know.
Oh no.
19 on nature.
You would know.
13.
You would know, and then you would know basic information,
Yeah.
but everyone else would know somewhat more
A bit
detailed.
more, yeah.
Yeah, so you would know they're Fey tree people essentially. The rest of you would know. They're usually sort of like chaotic in nature, but never malicious. So they usually keep to themselves as well. However, they do like to observe other humanoids. So they're curious, basically. But what is odd is that if they're moving trees around and they're stopping the logging company working here, you assume that they're trying to protect the forest.
Yeah, there's something to protect.
Possibly. Maybe they just want to protect their home. Maybe there's something here you don't really know yet. So there you go.
Which god has a bit of forestry in them? Like, looks after nature and that?
There it is.
Be mysterious.
Nice. Cool.
So I'm just wondering what would you probably would know best what to do basically, wouldn't you?
Possibly. Would I know where the Dryads are or reside in the forest?
You've probably seen a couple in the forest. You wouldn't really know their general location because they'd be here, there, and everywhere.
Would any of the plants or anything know if I can speak to them? Or any animals?
Yeah, you could try speaking to them and see what they say.
Yeah, cool.
Speak with animals, speak with plants. I don't know which one you're using.
Yeah, what's kind of nearby?
Roll nature.
Oh, I don't want to do this today.
Stop rolling, guys.
It's a natural one.
Oh yes. Do you want to borrow a d20?
That'd be fine.
I mean, you find a dead twig,
This is
even though there's like a million trees around you.
All this will
Well-
be out of the way.
Wow.
That's brilliant.
No, let's be honest. You
Yeah.
at least see the trees.
Yeah. Let me try speaking to the trees and see what they say and see if they, it's like, okay, so I'm looking for the dryads. Has anyone seen the dryads? I'm gonna commune that out there.
Hey, haven't seen you in a while.
I know. I got sent out of here and I don't recommend it, but you're a tree, so it's fine.
Yeah, I'm not moving
I
anywhere.
wish I was a tree. I love you guys.
I'm so chilled here, you know.
Do you want a hug, man?
Sure, he says. Bring it in, he says.
I'm gonna go hug the tree.
Can we all hear her talking to the tree?
You'd hear her, obviously, but maybe not the tree.
Okay.
So,
Why is she hugging?
Why not?
Okay.
I don't hug the tree.
Very, very bizarre.
so you're looking for the dryads, he says.
Yeah.
Oh, they're further in. They're kind of coming up with some strategies to deal with the companies that are coming here. I don't know what companies are, though.
Yeah, so to be honest, the way they work in regards to the city is quite discombobulated and intense. What do you know? I don't know much about what's going on actually.
He says, I don't know what you're saying, he says. However, you just need to chill out. That's all you need to do.
So which way do you know where they're staying right now?
So he's sort of like, if a tree could point.
Yeah, no. Is it behind me or to the to the side of me?
He says
side of me?
if you go into the forest for another mile and a half, he says,
I'm just imagining the tree.
you'll
You
eventually
see that
come
branch
across
there?
a small
No, not that
small
one.
sort of
Other
like
one.
woodland area with
Other
sort of like
That's
a small
it.
water waterfall
In that
feature.
direction.
Okay, so I'm gonna stop hugging you and say it's good to see you, man.
It's good to see you too. We haven't really talked before, but the other trees have said really good things about you.
Yeah, I do the same to you guys, and I'll pass the word over onto these people, which seem to own me or something now. I don't know.
Oh,
Keep
we're
it
not
weird.
into that. Freedom is what
I know,
say.
right?
Fight the system, guys.
Oh, I don't know if they're a system. I don't really know
There's no
much.
fucking system.
But anyways, I'll be back a lot. I'm pretty sure I'll be back. I can't do the city thing. Good speaking to you. Thank you.
Ta-da.
I'm gonna turn around and see the guy who's like, hey guys, okay, so my tree friend, my lovely tree friend, I miss my tree friends. So he said it's about a mile more in, and we find like a kind of waterfall, and that's where the dryad should be.
Right, yes, good enough for me.
So, based off the general direction, I'm gonna say roll perception, but roll with advantage because you've literally been
Oh,
given.
thank God for advantage.
Yeah, you've been literally been
Weird,
given the
because I haven't seen
direction.
a conversation that one-sided since Patrick
what
was
was
trying
I
to
rolling for
slide
again?
it out.
Perception, that's nice. Things are getting better. 23.
Okay, that's way better.
Yeah. I'll be using that dice for now.
Now that you're in the forest for the first time, you feel natural. So this is your first, like, you feel it at home and in tune with everything. So everything just feels, you hear things and see things. Yeah. It's your senses feel more natural and slightly heightened in this area.
Mm.
So you literally. You feel like you could walk there with your eyes closed, essentially. So as you're walking past, you're sort of like touching the trees and.
I'm gonna dance with
Yeah.
Get the whiff of breath out.
Oh God.
I know, again, imagining the Snow White thing of the birds
Yeah.
just with me.
I'm more thinking Fiona in Shrek where she sings the bird to death.
performance.
Extra.
Can I roll for performance to see how bad I'm singing?
Sure, yeah, go on.
Oh God.
Hey, it's not bad, it's a 19.
Oh.
Hey.
Yeah, it's.
Snow White.
You don't know what she's doing, but it's very elegant and poised. There is method to her madness.
She's on something.
No, she's just enjoying life.
Yeah, if that's what you want to call it.
I'm gonna presume I'm gonna hear that. I'll be like, oh, well, yeah, I'm on nature, my friend.
Yeah.
Nature can give you many good things.
Yeah, I know. Where's this watering hole again?
So just a little bit further. How much further?
But you're probably there unless you want to continue role playing this awkward.
Okay, wait, yeah, do you see the water? I said there would be a waterfall.
Yeah, so
Are
you
you
can.
blind?
You hear the.
I will put a bullet in you if you're not fucking careful.
She probably doesn't know what a
What's a
bullet
bullet?
is.
Yeah, I'll show you soon. It's fine.
She's probably gonna head. Is he coming on to me?
Yeah.
I don't think she knows how that's gonna work. Considering
She's like, I've seen animals do it before.
that's true. That is true.
This how I spend many a lonely night.
She's like, oh, they're dancing. That's probably how you were dancing.
Yeah, that's
A lot of thrusting.
Oh fuck, I'm gonna go and get
So
some
what's
rum.
around the area now?
I think I need
Other
rum
than the
in this.
waterfall.
So yeah, you hear the water before you see the water essentially, and after you basically walk that direction and you get to like I said, it's a very small waterfall and it's more like sort of like a small streamed area, and sort of like ferns hanging off and sort of like a couple of like gangrene. What's the not gangrene. What's the floating green
Moss?
things? Yeah,
Algae?
moss. Sure.
Algae.
Algae, sort of algae in the
yeah.
pools and stuff like that, and it's very nice, very aesthetically nice, very pleasing to look at, and you're probably in your element here.
Guys, isn't this beautiful and wonderful? And the air is.
Yeah.
It's lovely.
Last time I was in the forest, there were people chasing me, trying to experiment on me. So, yeah.
Wow.
Jesus Christ.
Don't worry, if they
Well-
catch you, we'll get her.
No, I know my way about here.
Get her.
I'm surprised I never heard or anything so like that in my time here. But that I avoid people.
So
I avoid everyone.
Everyone roll charisma.
Oh God.
I have a +5 as well.
Straight charisma?
Let's say spell saving throw.
Oh, saving throw?
Yeah.
Ah,
14.
yeah.
That's 8.
Is it a spell?
Well, you don't know.
You need to know because I have advantage against them if it is.
Oh, spell.
Yes.
No, it's more of an ability.
So.
19 is my
Okay.
charisma.
I got 17 rolls are getting
Oh,
better.
alright.
Use the tree.
18.
Okay.
I rolled an 18.
Okay.
14.
So everyone that rolled above an 18, so 19 and above, you are successfully saved. Who's rolled above?
Right,
So
19.
just you.
Oh.
Everyone else rolled 18 and below?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm scared.
So everyone here is sort of like, the only way I can describe it is a pan flute. You would be like, oh, this is nice, and you're just like, oh, this is just some music. Everyone else is not frozen per se, but everything seems to slow down slightly.
So it is a magic ability.
Yeah, somewhat a magical ability. Like you feel like I said, time is slowing down, and like you're looking around, and everything just feels more shiny and fleshed out, and everything feels more fascinating, and
Okay.
nothing that would inhibit you basically.
I just say waterfall with some lovely noise.
Well,
in
then
the
you all hear the music, but you're not affected by whatever this is.
Where is the music coming from?
It's coming from underneath the water feature.
Oh, cool. I'm gonna sort of just walk towards that then.
Roll a spell save again, charisma.
I have advantage on it.
Yeah, with a spell.
Gnome. 20.
Yeah, you can walk that general direction. Eventually, you do get to the end of the water feature, and inside you sort of see what you would assume is a dryad,
Okay.
because you've probably never seen a dryad.
Mm.
So what you see is sort of like a fair woman, basically,
Okay.
with bark skin, and it looks like the bark is sort of like encompassing her body, so it looks like sort of like a corset. She's got green skin, blue hair, sort of like flowers in it,
Mm-hmm.
and you can see her sort of like playing the pan flute casually, but she's looking at you, but there's no like malicious intent or anything. She's just watching carefully.
You gonna come out?
Eventually, she's still playing the fat pan flute, but she sort of like gestures you to sort of like move away from the waterfall.
Why?
She just gestures you. She doesn't say anything else other than that. But she is walking towards you.
I take a step back.
Yeah. So you basically she's asking, can you? She's not stopped playing, but she's asking you to give her room. And she sort of like walks out to the waterfall, and she's sort of like walking on the water, and sort of like playing the small pan flute. And eventually she sort of like walks over to the side, gets off the pond essentially, and then stops playing the pan flute. And she goes, "Hello, how can I help you?" She says.
Is it in common?
Yes. Let me just double check. Yes.
Well, we're here because of you.
Well, I've met many people, she says. So yes, hello, lovely to meet you, she says.
Hi.
Hi.
Lovely to meet you.
Thank you very much, she says. I do get compliments on it, she says. It's one of the very few skills that I have, she says.
Are the rest of us coming round for whatever magical nonsense?
Like I said, you weren't inhibited. You just you felt like your limbs were slightly heavier than normal, and everything felt more shiny, and everything was more fascinating, basically. So there was no like inhibitors involved. But once you stopped playing, what was happening was stopped, basically. So she says, "You've come to see me."
We've been asked to come and find out what's happening with these woods.
Oh, she says, so people just call me the Green Enchantress, she says. These were my jurisdictions, she says, and I was told to look after this forest, she says, until Aetherios seemed fit to do with whatever she pleases with it, she says. And the humans seem to be content in trying to knock it down, and I just can't allow that, she says.
Yeah.
Why can't you allow that?
Because Aetherios gave me a mission to look after the forest, she says.
And I agree with it being looked after, but you can regrow, can't you?
These trees, she says, although they look like trees, she says, they're in tune with the Aetherios, she says. Basically, I wouldn't say they're like her training grounds or a place that she comes to have respite, she says. But let's just say it's one of her favourite resting spots, she says.
Oh,
And if she-
serious.
Yes, well, way back when, she says. I haven't seen her in over 300 years, she says. But I was just told to look after it. I am the carekeeper of this forest. That is my role, my duty, my given right, she says.
Could you not part with just but a small area of it?
It's not mine to give, she says.
But as its caretaker, you are.
That is correct. That is my role.
Yes, and it technically falls to the caretaker to give some of it away if needs must.
Where's my...
No one's got a charisma.
Yes.
Oh yeah, yes.
I am good at charisma. This one is good charisma.
Uh-oh.
He's a giant, so.
So she says, I can't possibly do what you're asking of me, she says.
What if the humans came with
Offerings
an offering of sorts, of perhaps new seedlings to be planted elsewhere in the forest, to recompense for those lost for their needs?
She sort of like looks at you individually, and then seeing you, she turns to you and she says, "Do you see the sense in this?" She says.
See the sense in what? I don't know what they're doing.
They're essentially taking a part of Aetherios' forests to feed their own greed, she says.
Ooh, just gonna look back. Is this? I just. But from what I know of my sensing and my mission, I got given a feeling that I should be with these people.
And who gave you this mission?
I actually got given it through, like, I got a calling through Aetherius as well.
But you are not her touched, you are not her chosen.
I know. I know this. But I can tell that things are in need of aid. And I got sent towards a city that shines to try and work stuff out.
Roll persuasion.
Yeah, no, 12.
God. That's not good either. But yeah, plus 10. So yeah, that's 16.
So good.
She just says, we're kind of at an impasse here, she says, I'm afraid. The only way that we could resolve this is if we ask Aetherius directly, but nobody's spoken to her, other than you, of course, she says.
Yeah,
I mean, could you talk to her again? I mean, whenever I try to talk to her, she just doesn't reply back. It's like a connection has been severed.
I mean, I've left my space and I've left my seclusion, and I don't really know. It just seems things just keep getting more disconnected, and I'm losing my understanding. That's why I left my hut.
She says, maybe this is just for a reason, she says.
It cannot be the way.
Maybe that, she says, if you could prove somehow that Aetherius has spoken to you.
Not really.
How did you speak to her before?
Well, I spent my time in the woods learning how to commune with nature, and I learnt the way of nature, and I don't know how long I've been gone for or doing this, but I get given a calling through my communes with nature, and I just get given messages. That's all I've been able to understand.
So you have communed with nature before, she says.
Yes.
And somehow Aetherius got through to you.
Yes. I've been learning as I go along.
Can you try communing again, and then I can somehow observe you doing it?
I could try.
So, out of roleplay, mechanically, do you know commune with nature?
I believe so. I can. Druid stuff.
I think your staff has it.
Yeah, so the best I have is.
Speak with animals, speak with plants.
Yeah, naturally with
Would you three
Semper
know
the
the
Shepherd, I
nature
can
of
speak of
humans?
animals as well anyway.
Okay.
Considering I am human, yes.
They would keep
If you're not
farms
using
that
a
come
spell, I would just say you'd have to roll straight up religion and then straight up nature check. So you do two separate rolls to see what happens.
Yeah, that's gonna be in that one. Do you want me to do that?
Yes, but the Dryad will be helping you do this. So she's standing behind you. with her
Advantage
hand.
for both?
Yeah, advantage for both.
So which one's first?
We'll do nature first.
With advantage.
Yeah.
Thank God. Oh, thank God. So 24.
Yeah, you are very in tune right now.
The other one.
So
my
it's
days.
religion.
I'm blind. 6. What was the next one?
Religion.
So that's a 12.
Oh God. So you get in tune with nature and you're in your element essentially. You've been in your element since you got here basically.
Yeah.
And everything just feels right. And although you feel lost in this moment, you feel like this is your purpose, your sense of duty to try and help this situation, these people, and you feel like you're doing the right thing. With the Dryad's help, you do see the pale figure that you saw previously again.
Yes.
It's very blurred, and it's it all you can see is that it's nodding his head basically.
His head.
Her head, sorry.
Radio.
Well, it's blurred. You don't know.
Am I able to try and speak to it? Can I try?
Yeah, try to speak to it.
I'm gonna bow and go, greetings. I can't see you very well. Can you hear me?
Is she speaking to herself for all intents and purposes?
No. What's happening now is
Yeah.
the dryad and her
Uh-huh.
are sitting together,
Okay.
and they're just still.
So they're speaking to themselves. Or
No,
we
they're
can't
not
hear
even
them.
talking.
Oh,
They're-
okay, cool.
They're just in heavy meditation.
Right.
It looks like.
Cool. Yeah, that's great. Nice.
So you see a nod again. So confirming they can
Okay.
hear you.
Can the dryad also speak to her?
You feel the dryad presence, but the dryad seems to not be there. But she's speaking through your head,
Okay.
and she's saying she's sort of seeing echoes in your head, and she's saying, "I can see what you're seeing,
Okay.
but it seems like the connection is extremely severed." She said, "But the fact that you have a connection," she says, is proof enough." She says.
Okay. So it seems the humans want to do some changes to the forest, and I seem to have followed what I think is right all throughout this, and I guess this is the right time to ask if what is it you want for the purpose of this? The humans and their ways is weird.
Right, okay, so what happens is she sort of like the figure sort of like holds a hand out to you and sort of like puts it out like that in front of you and then just drops something.
Can I try and move forward and
And
try?
pick it up, yeah.
Yeah, cool. And just what is it?
It looks like a stick, a wand of some sort.
Okay. I'm gonna try and hold on to it and see if it stays.
Yeah, so you just see noddment and agreement and then sort of like your eyes open and the wand has suddenly appeared in your hand.
I got a wand.
Congratulations, I have one
Does
too.
anyone know what kind of wand this is? I think
Same.
it's from a.
Same.
But guys, I think I got this from a god.
Derek.
Yeah,
hello? Oh, I can identify that.
Yeah, go on then.
Oh, he goes, oh, that's a wand of great entanglement, he says.
Oh, fuck.
Okay.
Recharging.
What can I try?
I pull out one of my light fireballs. Does this count as a wand?
You what?
Derek goes, no.
No, I'm not talking to Derek.
Sassed by Derek!
I'm gonna show that to the dryad and say I didn't get much clear words, but do you know what she would mean by giving me this in regards to my question?
What did you speak to?
I believe a god. It's
The dryad confirms, I believe it is a Theros, she says. However, she is severely ill or something, she says.
If she can talk to the gods, wouldn't Amy want to know?
You probably really want to know about that.
So we've got something to report back with about
Yeah.
getting to 4th layer.
Mm-hmm.
So she says, so you are... She says, you have, yet again, you haven't been touched, she says. It's really odd, she says. Normally, if a god gives you direction, you are given certain gifts. Obviously, you have been given a physical gift, but you haven't been given the mark, she says.
the mark.
So, roll religion.
18.
Right, okay, so in this world, there's a hierarchy in order to serve the gods. So the lowest hierarchy is touched, which essentially means the god likes what you're doing and they may observe you and give you a helping hand from time to
Yeah, I
time.
remember this.
Yeah. Then you've got avatars. When a touch dies or serves his purpose, the god may invite them to become immortal, essentially, and serve them on the physical plane.
Yeah.
So they essentially become the mouth and hands of the gods, essentially, on the physical plane. eventually, after thousands of years, an avatar may lose a sense of purpose. And when they lose that sense of purpose and they fully devote themselves to the god, they become an angel. So it's very rare to become touched.
Yeah.
Then it's very rare. It's more rare to become an avatar, and then extremely rare to become an angel. Essentially.
But that's probably just Godhead itself. Then.
So what is
Yeah, that's when you start getting into like hero deities and quasar deities and
what
stuff
does
like
the Dryad say to Kira about the mark?
So essentially, she's trying to say you haven't been touched.
Okay.
So, but you've been given a physical gift by the god. So essentially, the god is trying to give you direction, but you haven't been chosen. So she likes what you're doing, but she doesn't want you in a circle.
Oh.
Likes what I'm doing, as in joining people who might try and help destroy the forest, or try and follow a path in general.
I think the Green Enchantress history just says, I think she's just given you permission, she says.
Okay.
So the Wand of Greater
Yeah.
Enchantment, mechanically, think of Entanglement, the level 1 spell,
Yeah.
except if it affects 3 targets instead of 1.
Jesus.
Yeah, I was thinking that.
Yes, please.
And then you get, I think it's a normal one, so I think it's 7
Okay.
charges.
Okay, so yeah, she's gonna say to the Dryad and go, I think it is in fate's path for humans to do this action. Out of the wars and the usual things of which they do, I think this may be one of the more neutral courses of action.
And she says, I believe it is fate too, she says.
I can help. Where will the Dryads go?
She says, and I've just lost my page, god damn it. Where is my quest? God damn it.
No.
There we
So?
go.
Not like forcing the Dryads out.
So she
Well-
says, we don't have a specific place to go. Do you know of a tree that we can inhabit?
I'm gonna presume my old hut had a pretty good setup.
She said, with the situation that you in, she said, I would rather observe you closely.
Well, I think I'm gonna be in the city for quite a while, and to be honest, the piece of grass I have there does not amount to my
Is there a
original-
tree there, she says.
I don't think so.
There is a tree there.
My character wouldn't know though.
Yeah, the cow,
Wouldn't
the
know.
flying cow.
Oh
the flying
yeah,
cow
there was
was
a
eating.
tree attached to that. Yeah.
Yeah, there was
The cow
a
was
flying
up the
cow.
tree.
Yeah.
I also forgot about the cow.
Zeppelin was up there.
Yeah, there's a tree.
Spider is climbing it and
Yeah.
bending over.
There is indeed a tree in the city. It's not the usual place for Dryads though, let alone me these days.
She says, all I need is, she basically says, I need a tree to inhabit, and I will be there from time to time to assist you in
Wow.
your time of need, she says.
You're gonna be in the city. I think you need a visa.
Oh no, she says, I can just go in and out as I please. I can tree, whatever it's called.
Wow.
What's it called? Tree strike, there we go.
Wow, Dryads are cool.
And she says, as a gift for our new relationship, she says.
Oh, shiny. Also, now we've got a druid on our thing as well. Dryad.
Cool.
So,
gonna-
yeah.
Just gonna bow and go,
Yeah,
thank you,
like
this seems
Yeah,
An
beautiful.
absolute amalgamation.
She says,
of all
I-
things magical and wondrous.
Yeah, it's gonna have to find
Tell
an explorer.
the humans that they are allowed to have
75 grand.
the outlay of the forest essentially, but they cannot take more than 10% of the forest.
Okay, nice.
Yeah, good luck.
Have these guys been able to hear that as well?
Yes.
Okay, I will be looking around and go, I think it would be best to respect that.
I don't want to anger any gods.
Oh no, I'll be putting my own threats to the humans. That if they break it, they will have to deal with me.
Cool.
Well, you do have a death stick, so. So yeah, you now have. So I've given you the staff of protection. You've got the wand of greater entanglement,
And that toy.
and
Oh,
you
which is the entanglement, okay.
You also have an NPC Green Enchantress living on your quarters right now.
Fantastic. What should she do for me?
So, I can read her stats out for you.
If you want.
So she's challenge rating 14,
Shit.
Oh god.
Fuck that.
armor class 19,
Oh god, that struggles for me.
hit points 130. She's got a speed of 30 and can fly at 30 in Harbour. She knows the following spells. She can cast freely, commune with nature, druid, craft, and scrying freely.
Nice.
2 times a day each. Bestow Curse, 5th level version. Moonbeam, 5th level version. Reincarnate.
Sorry, go back one. Bestow curse.
Yeah.
She can get rid of curses.
Bestow.
Bestows
Then
them.
give curse.
Give curses.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Moonbeam, 5th level version.
Oh fuck.
Reincarnate. Sunbeam.
Wow.
Transport via plants. And then 1 day each. Gears, Imprisonment, and Legend Law. She has magic resistance. She can speak with beasts and trees. She can tree slice tried. She's got Verdant Blessing, which means on top of a 19 AC, she's also got Charisma added to her AC,
Shite.
So
which is +5, so she's actually got 24 AC.
Fuck.
is she still with us now?
Yeah.
She can
Okay,
transfer
nice.
via plant.
So
She also has legendary actions, so
Oh shit.
Yeah.
how will you?
That's
be-
only when she's in her place though, isn't it?
no.
No. Oh
She's
shit.
driving takes 3 legendary actions, choosing from the options below. Only legendary options will be used at a time and at the end of another creature's turn.
I'm gonna ask her. How will you be residing in the tree?
So she says, obviously, as you know, I can't live here because I need to observe
Yeah.
the forest. So she says, however, you can go to the tree and I will be there. I may send a messenger in my place.
Oh, cool. Maybe I should make my home in the tree.
She says, no, that's probably not for the best. You're not a squirrel.
Well, I can make like a hut, like a treehouse. That would be cool.
Is it that big enough of a tree? Actually, it's probably not big enough. Oh, well, actually, you're a halfling. You're tiny.
Yeah, you're tiny. You can have a
you
branch.
Yeah, you could live on a branch.
I'll at least be under the tree.
Yeah.
I don't know. I still have to get used to the new environment.
So yeah, essentially you have that herbalist that you want, basically.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah, there we go.
Tend to the gardens,
Yeah.
bitch. I mean, dryad.
I think those gardens will thrive or whatever we put in them.
Yeah, well, she's got all the seedlings we ever need. We never need to buy the seedlings.
As well as that, she's got messengers as well, which is essentially a generic dryads. So she's got a couple of those underneath her. So essentially, you've got a mini green army as well. Green giant.
Cool. Wow. Should we go home?
Alright, okay.
Can she teleport us home?
Oh yeah, she can.
Technically she can. Transport via plants, yeah.
Yeah, she can. She can transport via plants.
We'll show you where we live.
She says, yeah, sure. That's. I can't be gone for long. She says, I can stay there for a couple of minutes though. She says. So she'll open the portal in a tree.
Done.
You've got 12 seconds for all of you to go through.
Yeah, that's easy. Done.
We can carry the halflings and gnomes on us if we need to.
Yeah, I'm only
So you come up with a tree, obviously in your garden. Patrick is literally just shat himself. Boo! Ah! Oh my God! He says.
Yes, we came out of a tree.
Oh, dude, does that normally happen?
No.
Oh. Oh.
It may do from now on though.
Yeah, it might do for a while.
That
Brought
thing
you
that
a
I said
friend.
earlier about feeling shame, I think I just did it again.
Oh my god.
Go ahead, Patrick, you'll find a nice
Do
home
druids
eventually.
bleed? Dryads rather, I meant. not druids.
Why? Oh God, no. I'm not
She
doing
knew
it.
as soon as I said it.
Something to be willing.
They can be tapped for sap.
That's a type of blood in my eyes.
Oh,
It's tree
God.
blood.
And she's,
Sap and blood are
she's-
not the same.
She's
Type of
ridiculously
blood?
powerful, so I don't know what would happen there.
Oh.
Summon Titania from another plane.
Oh, good God.
Yeah.
We don't want that. We don't want that.
CR
Trust me, we don't want that.
32, I think she is. Yeah, you don't want that.
No.
I wouldn't recommend pouring her blood anywhere either.
Oh my god.
What time of day is it?
Yeah, so you would have gotten there at midday. It's taken you like half an hour just to resolve this issue. So you're back now. It's probably 12:45.
Cool.
I'm gonna waltz on down to hand in this quest.
Okay.
Yeah, welcome with you.
Yeah.
The dryad is coming with you as well.
Oh, Jesus.
So
That's
like,
fair.
so everyone's just like, what
the fuck is
this?
that?
And everywhere she's walking, she's leaving a small trail of flowers behind her.
Oh, God.
No.
Yeah.
Oh, great, yeah, we didn't want to be followed, honest.
Patrick's walking on behind eating them.
Derek's just like, there's another one, and there's another one.
Yes, Derek, thank you.
Just, oh, we've got so many new friends now, he says. Oh, this has been a great day, he says.
Yes, we've got an entourage.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So you hand in the quest, you get your 1,000 gold basically. So that is all of the. You got the 1,000 gold for the quest. You got the wand of entanglement for saving the dryads, and then for doing both you get the staff of protection, which I've given.
Nice.
There we go. So that's that quest done. Congratulations.
Split the money 5 ways.
It's up to you how you split it.
200 gold pieces each.
You can have my cut.
Okay.
You can have my cut.
Thank you.
I'll just take some out of the shop.
That's fair.
Whenever I need money.
So
I need to
it's
set up a
actually
portal to the...
4 ways.
So you get 250 each. 250 gold each.
Thank you. I should probably start collecting
Oh, no,
this
no, no,
shiny
no.
stuff.
I literally gave you my cut.
Oh, so she's got
Yeah,
400.
yeah.
So everyone's got 200.
Yeah,
and you've
sorry.
got
No,
400.
no,
That's-
I'm handing it out. So it's
Oh, right.
split
So
4 ways.
okay. So it's
Oh, so you
it is
split it.
250. Okay.
Oh, you bitch.
Be gone, thought.
Nice.
Because I'm a nice person, I think.
Ty, how do you spell your name again?
T-A-I.
T.
Not hard. It's 3 letters.
So would you
2
like
of
to
them are
do?
vowels.
Would you like to do any more side quests?
Let's go kill some giants.
Didn't you have something to do with, like, giants?
Green giant. No, fire giant.
Fire giants.
Dead giant.
Fire giants. Oh, they're the worst.
Let's go kill some giants.
Let's kill some giants. I don't like giants anyway. They're too
Big.
big, tall, huge.
Okay, so you go into the quest giver again, generic NPC again.
This one's on.
On Dan's account, basically.
What one are we doing?
The fire
Let's kill some
giant.
giants.
Yeah, I'll pick that up then.
So she tells you a rift has recently opened in Finrazda, dropping a number of fire giants. She doesn't specify how many.
Okay.
They were polite at first, and even were getting on with the locals. They were slightly confused though. But over the last few days, they have started to try and claim the area as their own. They're a little bit territorial. So the quest is essentially, it doesn't say kill them. It just says deal with them.
Yeah, that's a lot
Yeah,
of,
well, from
Yeah,
my
leeway.
from
That's
my
a lot.
past, that means kill.
lot of room for murder.
There. Oh, giant blood.
So
I'm gonna go to the local potion place first.
there's quite a few of them.
I don't care. I'm buying some vials empty.
Roll perception.
Oh god.
See how good and how many vials you get essentially.
Does anyone else want to order a sub
Yes.
from Subway?
15.
Oh, you want to one?
Yeah, sure. 15.
Yeah.
You get your generic potion shop. An empty. Are you buying an empty vial for potions, or are you buying an empty vial, a generally empty vial?
The classic subs.
Empty vial.
With no potions.
With no
attached.
potions in it.
So it's more for holding bloods and stuff like
Yeah.
that. So they would be about 1 gold each.
Perfect.
They're quite expensive.
Giants, you say? Fire giants, yeah?
I'll buy 75,692.
What do I know about them?
Roll nature.
Nat
Yeah,
20.
sure, I'll buy.
Oh god. So you know literally the ins and outs of giants.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
I've dealt with them before, so
you've
I just
dealt with
think.
them before. Giants come in a variety of flavours, and each flavour has got their unique traits. Fire giants tend to be malicious in intent and evil.
Yeah.
Be a nice.
So the fact that they've been friendly with
It's
humans was odd.
Yeah.
So you either think that they've either been acting, or there was a Dragon Ball Z issue where they got bumped on the head and they're suddenly friendly, basically.
Okay.
Okay.
So you would have to investigate.
How many
that.
vials does she have that are empty?
Probably good
I'm more
50,
meaning
60.
like
I'll
what's.
buy all of them.
So buying 60 for 60 gold.
I'm more
Okay.
meaning stuff like resistances, etc.
You would know they're immune to fire damage.
Immune to fire damage.
Yeah.
Resistant to any others.
No, just immune to fire damage.
Immune to fire damage. Okay, no fire, guys.
That's 3 of my stuff.
It's fine, I don't like fire.
Yeah, you're fire everywhere, aren't you?
So the quest giver also says if you want more information, and she gives you a name.
Always gather information. Information is king.
Yeah, information is everything, yeah.
Grant.
Grant, whereabouts is he? What tier?
So he would be in the farmlands to the east.
Farmlands to the east. Do we have an address?
General address.
Okay, fantastic. Thank you very much. I slide over a silver piece and head off.
No, okay. So are you just heading straight there?
Well, I'm going
We
to head
are-
off there. I'm
we
heading
are
off
all
there.
there, aren't
It's
we?
up to you guys if you're following me or not.
The dryad will literally say after you've handed the quest in and confirmed that only 10% of the forest has been taken, she'll literally say, "Oh, I'm going back to the tree now.
Okay.
If you ever," she looks at you specifically and goes, "If you ever need me, just say my name and I will come."
What is your name?
The green
Green
enchantress.
Okay.
Can you do some gardening and get some herbs, please?
Sure, I love gardening. She
Good.
says, "I'll send one of my
Do
messengers."
you know what
over."
health potions are?
Uh,
Do you know what things are used in that?
Yes, she knows I
Perfect.
can make concoctions.
Perfect. Grow those for me if you don't mind.
Sure, I'll send a dryad over, she says, because she looks really confused at this and sort of like starts walking off.
I'm gonna join the
Business.
guys with killing the giants, I think, because that sounds.
So the dryad says at this,
Okay.
"I wouldn't recommend killing," she says.
I've got 2 things on there.
I
What are you
don't.
ordering?
What's,
Subway.
What's
Ooh,
with the
what?
giants?
Yeah, I will.
She says, I personally don't know about giants, she says.
I don't know
However,
much either.
I would recommend making as many friends as possible, she says, because if what you're saying is true, Nefarious has gotten in contact with you, maybe fate is a hand in all of this, she says.
Oh, I'm gonna go and see. I'll go see.
Very well, she says, "Have a nice day," and she sort of like looks at the rest of you, nods to you, and just starts walking off.
I just nod back.
On that acknowledgement, she'll just give you like a half smile and walk away. Okay, so we're gonna go see
Many
Grant.
times before they seem polite.
You're gonna
Yeah.
see Grant, do you?
Yes.
Will come with.
Okay, so
Well, this is what I normally do. I just say.
the farmlands are vast, considering how many people. Like there's about 3 or 4 million people living in Finralda, so the farmland is vast. But you do have a specific address. Most people live on the first disc, so it's very rare for somebody to live on the farmlands. However, you have ears to the ground, so you would know that other than sort of like the steam militia going backwards and forwards to protect the fields, you would have a house probably every 1 mile or so to observe a certain plot of the field. So you're concluding that this Grant is probably, if there was a farmers guild, he'd probably be fairly high up, basically,
Okay.
if there was such a thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, you eventually get the address, and it's basically not a shack, but just your generic wooden house, basically,
Yeah.
with a little porch, and it's nothing expensive and fine, but it's livable, basically.
Yeah.
It's functionable. There's about a couple of seconds, and then sort of like an elderly woman in her 70s, 80s opens the door and goes, "Hello?
Good day, madam. I'm looking for Grant.
Oh, you're here to see my son. Of course, I'll get him for you. I made some lemon scares. Would you like to come in?"
Ah, thank you very much. I would
That
love
was
to go.
lovely.
And she looks at you and goes, "Oh, I think," and she starts taking her glasses off and starts, "I think there's a smudge on my clothes." "Oh, no, that's just you," she says.
Yes, I get the reaction.
"I do apologise," she says.
Nothing to apologise for.
"Oh, well, you need to apologise for everything nowadays," she says. "Everyone's so sensitive. But I'm sure you are lovely wherever you come from."
No, they're horrible people.
And she says, "Right, okay, that's a nice discussion." And she just says, come in, and she says, And she sort of like, she eyes you up one at a time, and she goes, oh, you're nice, you're nice, oh, hello, oh, lovely tree people, oh, it's great. So she's been around essentially, so she can tell that you've got an air adventures about you, so she's just letting you do your own thing. And she'll say, just wait in the kitchen, I'll get him now. He's probably somewhere in the back. He says he's usually doing something with his tools.
I'll go sit down at the kitchen table
Oh,
if there's one.
okay.
So in front of you, there's basically a small plate of what can only be described as a sort of like a lemon tray bake, essentially. So like short.
As she
shortbread
goes, I guess you.
She said, they're there for you, dear. I was expecting guests eventually. I just make a fresh batch every 1 or 2 days, and here you are.
Well, thank you very much. I say, picking one up.
Yeah.
£7 we are.
You wanting Subway?
Oh, I do want Subway. Does everyone
Do you guys
else
want
do
to
it?
get in on an order on Subway?
Sorted.
I'm going to have a foot long.
Well, you have what you want, Stu.
What bread would you like?
Ready bread.
Urban cheese. What cheese would you like? Oh, I see.
One moment, please.
We've got a wand of that if you want.
Sorry?
You can do whatever cheese you want.
Yeah, we have. We've got a wand of that. We haven't shown you half the toys we've got yet. We've been quite
I've heard
Oh, I
about
see.
the
It's different flavours.
quite pulled back at the moment.
Yeah, I've heard about the one with cheese.
It's fucking brilliant.
Nobody's ceiling has been cheesed.
Yeah, not yet.
Where's like all the new stuff? So don't they
What
have
happens if you
them?
feed the cow cheese?
Just keep looking.
Technically,
I know.
No.
I'll just let them meatball Mariana. Screw it.
What they
I'm gonna be
produce.
boring.
But no, they haven't produced it because it's a wand that makes cheese. They didn't produce the ceiling.
Yeah, I know, but if they made like a cheese slab of it and fed it to a cow, that'd be like weird.
Probably lactose intolerant.
Or 4 stomachs.
I think fucking brilliant. I
What the
love
hell is
that
turkey
full
rasher?
stomachs.
Pardon?
What the hell is a turkey rasher?
It's a rasher of turkey.
Yeah.
That sounds vastly. I don't know what to say, but no, I'm just gonna
That
be
sounds really unnatural.
What salad did you like?
Really,
so you know ham
really
slices.
American.
It's basically that, but for turkey, Stu.
Yeah, I don't want any salad. Why is it asking me so much shit? Can you?
Because it's doing the same thing that you would have it ask you
Yeah.
in the store.
Yeah, fair play. They have got it
Cheese
nailed,
toasted
haven't they?
salad.
Huh?
Yeah,
Sauce.
they have got it nailed on the app.
Yeah.
Fair play.
Like they actually managed to get it so that they
Yeah.
go bread, then filling, then
Yeah.
cheese. What type of cheese do you want it toasted? What salad do you want? What sauces do you want?
Berry yo-yo berry. I want some cookies. I want cookies. Where's the?
Oh, you're gonna.
Where's the? No, fine. I'll have double chocolate, but it's not the one that I want. There you go. Thank you. Right, okay, sorry about that. After a little while, sort of like a gruff man, probably in his 30s, comes in, some stubble, sort of like a slight beer belly, but quite muscular. So like you can tell he sort of like works the fields daily and has got a bit of a tan going on. Your generic overalls, nothing strikes you as something as out of place. Basically, it's a generic farmhand basically. And he goes, all right. Oh, what can I do for you?
I hear you have a little problem.
Ah, so you're for the quest, yeah, are you?
Yeah,
I wouldn't call it a little problem. They're giants. They're more of a large problem.
I was.
Well, I can give you some of the
sarcastic.
It did seem deliberate.
I can give you some of the details, and then we'll go from there, shall we?
Roughly how tall are they?
They're fucking giant.
They're taller than me, I think.
I'd agree with you on that one.
They're about 14, 16 feet, I think.
Oh
Fucking
my
hell.
Lord.
I can get up to the top one of them and put a fucking bullet through their brain.
We
So
don't know that we're killing them yet.
I said that out of
so about 2 or 3 months ago, they sort of like were rifted literally on top of the fields. Kind of ruined some of our crops. Wasn't their fault. Rifts are weird. At first, they were obviously confused and scared. But once they realised that we didn't mean any harm, they actually started to help us fix the crops that they ruined.
Oh wow.
After that, then they kind of stayed around and sort of like helped us on the fields.
Nice.
They were just looking for a job, essentially. Didn't really understand them, but my God, they could turn a field like that. It was great. We were ahead on schedule even.
Sounds like you had a good thing going.
We had a very good thing going.
Oh, okay, never mind.
After about 1 or 2 months, the female one started learning a little bit of common. And she started saying that they needed to set some grounds. And we were fair, we were expecting them to ask for pay, maybe somehow finding a set place for them to stay so they could be upstanding citizens in our community. But they said, no, they just want to own us.
Yeah, that's giants.
Seems,
Yeah.
I was about to say fair.
It's not
from
fair.
your point of view.
Obviously not. We were taken aback. It was very weird that they suddenly changed their attitudes. Like, going from friendly and then suddenly saying, we want to own you. Like, if they wanted to own us, they wouldn't have said anything and just killed a couple of us.
that we took to order.
Right? That's my train of thought, like. And like I said, the female one was very nice. The male one was a little bit grumpy, but that's to be said and done. Obviously, he was just trying to sort of upshow the missus, I suppose. So yeah, so the quest is, I just want them to be dealt with. I don't know how you deal with them. If you want to kill them, I would prefer them not to be killed. However, if it comes down to that, no harm, no foul. The quest is done.
What's the pay for this quest?
Right, so you'd get 500 gold from the farmhand.
To deal with giants.
Yeah, they're not that rich. 500 gold is probably quite a large sum for them.
At least we don't have to kill them.
Until we talk to them and they decide that they don't want to move on.
Well, they
You could ask our dryad friend to tree zap them elsewhere.
wouldn't you expect them to prefer?
Like a tree that's hanging dangerously over the edge of a cliff.
Anyway,
For areas of heat, maybe.
Yeah.
They're just not in the right area.
whereabouts did you say they were?
So once they made their dealings and we obviously said no, we were expecting to have a fight on our hand, but they just walked away. They've currently just set camp outside the fields and have just kept to themselves for the last 2 or 3 days. It's very odd.
Anything odd going on amongst the camp?
It's just the two of them. They just seem to be talking all the time, and every once in a while they'll go to the forested area and come back with a couple of rabbits, and that's about it, really.
Couple. Only a couple.
Well, more like 20, 30,
They-
but
A couple, that's for me.
Sounds like fairly good pest control.
well, that's a positive, obviously, but we don't want to be put in shackles for no reason here.
Well, we'll go have a talk. See what we can
Yeah.
do. Worst comes to worst. Worst comes to worst. At the end of the
What's
day.
the worst that could happen?
Me.
Did I, on my escape from the poison bridge, did I come across any areas that seemed typically
Gianty.
barren or volcanic that I can recall?
No, it's mostly a sort of like a combination of swamplands and grassland. Very marshy, very very dark, very bleak. Yeah, very not a happy place basically. But there was no heat involved. There you go.
Oh, I guess we'll have a look and see what we can do.
Actually, you're going directly there.
Might as well.
Okay, we'll see what happens then. So around this time, it's probably about 4 or 5 o'clock now.
Yeah, alright.
So as you're heading over to the general direction where you pointed, the female one is there, sort of like she seems to be sort of like just sitting in the camp calming by herself, and the male one isn't there.
Hello there. I say, waving as I approach.
Hi.
I heard you're looking for land or trying to put the farmers in Trouble.
Small people, weak. We strong. We own, we help.
Why don't I have a giant now as well?
Not all small people weak.
These ones are.
These are, but their friends are strong.
Can I turn her into
Roll persuasion.
13.
No, not very good then.
Small people, weak by self, strong with number.
With advantage.
13.
shit?
She saw her right eyes
No.
open down. And she says, "No, you strong, but I no help you."
Correct. I help them though.
Help how?
Well, they don't want to be owned.
We own, we help.
You help but don't own.
No.
We can give land elsewhere.
Land where? Job?
No job, land.
Ah, where land?
Question out of character.
Yeah.
The land around the cave that we did our first quest in.
Oh
For
yeah,
Amy.
where we found Derek.
And
Oh, the furnace area.
Yeah.
That's all barren, isn't it? There's not much there.
Technically, yes. And that's not too far away.
It's not, no.
Describe that area to them. Well, to her.
We'll even take you there if we need to.
Sounds good. Me like you. I tell the husband.
Isn't it?
Where is husband?
Forest hunt.
Rabbits?
Oh, deer hope.
Deer where near in other forest near place told you.
Oh, good. Rabbit, no good.
Do you know how to farm deer?
Cow.
Yes, we hunt.
Make it so you have enough deer to last forever. Farm.
Farm, you say? We farm now.
Good.
Own farm.
Oh, own farm. Our farm. Oh, that's good.
You can sell the meat.
Have to make self though.
Yes. Tell husband, he back soon.
Okay.
So after you sit down, the wife sort of gestures to sit down with her, and she's sort of like just staring at the campfire. After about 45 minutes, eventually the male fire giant comes back. They speak in jive for a little bit, and the wife turns to you and she says, "Okay,
You
Okay, what? Do you want us to take you there? You want to...
we go with you."
to place?
"Sure," she says.
Okay.
go.
Yes.
What time of day is it?
It's probably 6-7 o'clock now, so it's starting to sunset.
In the morning.
No. Because we're heading off. Let's go.
No, it's probably...
If you guys want to go home, I'll head off by myself.
You want to be by yourself with these.
Yeah. Let's go.
I think I'm going to stay with you just in case.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you're going, we're all going.
Grant will eventually come over and recommend that maybe you should go back to Finrasda and have them stay there and then take them in the morning.
I agree. I take them in the morning.
Grant's actually come over.
Well, yeah, but he technically was friendly with them before. It's only the last
Okay,
couple of
fair.
days. Right, okay, so yeah, the quest is essentially filled. So
Shit, it is.
you're friendly with the giants now. You can now use them in your business.
What can they do for me?
Or send them away.
Yeah, not that.
Well, technically, is this my sub business, or would this be?
They are smithers by trade,
Oh, yeah.
and they are strong. Basically, they could be bodyguards.
And
Essentially.
did we just set them up on land outside?
Well, not
A
outside
cave.
Finraz, in a cave. It's
Yep.
more near the Dwarven territory, so you'd be going north. So they'd be probably 3 or 4 days out of.
But our first mission was outside a cave filled with smithing equipment.
Mm.
Yeah.
Where we got a derrick.
Yeah.
So they have a setup where they
Well,
could
we've
just.
Got
Yeah.
to set up a supply line.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Employ Patrick as a workout.
Oh.
We'll pull the wagon to and from.
Yeah, we've got a.
So you can
We found the meaning of life.
you can either have them set their own shop and literally you would be opening trade with them, but they'd be their own independent business, or that you can pay them.
How much do they cost to be paid?
12 gold each, so it'll be 24 a week.
But they need to pay rent.
No, because they'll have their own place.
Yeah.
They're building their own place.
12 is 24.
How much do they produce in a week?
Yes, how much?
Like almost 100 a month.
So they've got +1 weapon anvils, so they don't work as fast as Derek, obviously,
No.
but they can probably make a weapon every 5 to 10 minutes.
Whoa.
Still fucking amazing.
Yeah.
That's still big work.
Yeah,
That's half as much work for Derek.
it is.
Well, Derek can do it probably in about
10 seconds.
10 seconds.
Done.
Because
Done,
of his
done.
stupid stuff.
Yeah. Oh.
Just pay them.
But money.
Yeah, but
I'm starting to lose money now.
no, you wouldn't pay so because you get.
Why don't we just let them be their own business and they can also supply stuff to
I
us?
think that's probably
Yeah, but
best.
then you can
So-
supply other people as well if we get exclusive.
No, we get an exclusive trade contract.
So you were the one that did the deals with the fire giant.
Did?
Yeah.
Yes.
So you can choose what to do with them. So
Yeah,
you
this
can
is
give
true.
you can give them to Titcher, like, and he can do what he wants basically. Or as well as that, they will give you where is it? Giant belt of strength, fire.
What? They can do what now?
They're giving him as a peace offering a giant belt, basically, of strength,
Break.
of fire, which I believe upscales his strength to 25.
Damn.
What?
Yeah, I think it is. Do you want me to go and get DMG real quick so you can find out?
Okay. I feel like I should be giving them something back.
Give them your thanks.
Yes, well, obviously the thanks, but I believe I should be giving them something.
The farmhands will give you the 500 gold.
Mm-hmm.
They will also, they're so impressed with you that they will offer a handful of farmhands if you want them for your business.
We have cows that need looking after.
We're not that big enough for like loads of farm.
Oh my god, I'm gonna have to buy the whole street of this, right?
Yeah, you're not going to have enough room for them if you're going to ask them
No.
to live with you.
No. I'll say that they need to stay on their own land, but we need
How
food
about-
for some cows. Go on.
How about okay then? So with the giants,
Mm-hmm.
we set up a deal with them. They supply us weapons at a slightly cheaper price than they would sell to others.
Yes.
But in return, I will do my own thing for them.
Fair.
Okay.
That could be done. Yes.
Yeah, and then for the farmers, they supply us with some food and drink,
Okay. Yes.
so living expenses basically.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
In return,
Would you pay
But-
them gold for this, basically?
well, if they wanted, instead of, I guess they could still work for us, but I don't know with the farmers. You work that out.
Yeah.
They would be six gold each,
Yeah.
and you can have they'd be 6 gold each, and you can have up to 5 of them.
Of the farm.
So you can have 5 people, but they're worth 6 gold each.
They can supply us with food and drink.
Mm.
In return, we pass them the 3 magical cows to them.
Yes. Yes.
So you're giving them magical cows in exchange for
Food and drink forever
for the cows.
for us. So that our cupboard is always stocked.
Grant will probably have to go see the cows, but
No, trust me, they're good cows.
no, he'll go see the cows.
Okay, sure. Come see the
But
cows.
he's impressed.
Yeah, I'll bet he is.
So
Fine, that
yeah,
might be hard
he
to
agreed.
manage, but-
He hastily agrees to the deal.
Perfect.
With the giants, they give me the giant strength belt.
Yeah.
I'm going to give them my rubies, sapphires, and a minotaur
Ooh, nice.
claw. Minotaur horn.
They'll appreciate it. And then finally, for basically pleasing both sides. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it?
Good at pleasing everybody.
Yeah, today is Let's Just Please People Day. Happy days. We've yet to do a ritual. Probably getting about.
Oh, there it
We
is.
need to go. Let's go do
For
stuff like
pleasing
like
both
killing
sides.
something.
That's probably tomorrow. Because it's late now. Yeah.
Ooh.
What did you get? What's shiny?
If you can read it if you want.
Oh.
That's where I'm from.
That's a good request. So you've done that one. So you've got 2 left.
What did Tish McDougal do again? She was.
She was a tinkerer, so she's
Yeah.
essentially, you're paying her to essentially make things fix, like
She was
with automobiles as well and transport.
she was cheap, but she asked us to do it for her brother on our adventures.
Yes.
If I remember correctly.
And no, yeah, Gnome adopted half her brother basically.
Yes.
Adopted Gnome.
We've not about anybody
The
to
father's
ask
game
him.
was more expensive, but he
I
was
suppose we could ask the Triad.
smarter than he was acting.
I
Yes,
suppose.
He had a knack for business.
Are you okay there, Dan?
I'm just reading this.
Right. Okay. So I just thought I was expecting. Okay. So
I will also need the DMG for the fire belt. I pass the gold on to you in all parts of my regards. This was your request to hand out, so your distribution of the money.
so 500 gold then.
100 each?
Yeah. Okay. There you go. Then. 100 each.
So we have the dwarves supplying us, yes?
Giants.
Giants. The giants.
Yeah. So the
Giants.
giants from now on will send you +1 weapons from time to time essentially.
Okay.
So you'll get shipments probably once a month, and you'd probably get about 30 to 40 of them.
Of
Well,
plus
we're
one.
still buying them, but at a slightly cheaper price than what they
Yeah.
would sell.
Yeah, they would
So just tell
They've
to
got their own livelihood.
basically.
So giants sending weapons of +1 every month.
yeah. So there'd be 40 of them, and they'd be 100 gold each. So you're paying 4,000 gold for them.
How much gold, sorry?
4,000.
4,000 gold.
Obviously, +1 would be helpful.
More than that.
More than that.
But also we can turn them into +2.
It's a good thing Ty is a
What's
greedy
yours?
character, because otherwise they'd just keep all the gold for themselves, and God knows what they'd do. Further your character style
What
the
was the
spot.
rules of the tournament again?
Top 4. Oh, rules.
It's
One,
fine.
Two
As it
weapons,
currently
two weapons,
stands,
of
the
one
shop,
magic item.
And
You
right
can use any
before
armor you
A4
want.
I'm
No
on now because I
healing
just can't
potions.
do it on that.
So,
Has
2 weapons.
75,632
One magic item?
grand
One
in it.
magic item.
Do the weapons count as magic?
So we can just approach the
And
shop.
all of that stuff, which is all enchanted.
So magic item would include being clothes
Yeah.
and
yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
Breaking the system, man.
Yeah, whoops.
Jesus.
Working in the Gamers Emporium has not taught me nothing, honest.
So, do you want to do any more side quests?
Probably sleep for the night.
Yeah, okay, you can do that. You can go back to Finralsda.
I'm going to go to sleep.
Yeah, okay.
I'm
Do-
done.
does
I've done a
anyone-
lot of
you-
walking tonight.
do either of you to use any missile weapons?
I would like crossbow, or probably never use it.
Yeah, because you've got no, you don't have. You don't
Did
have
the
those
farmers
class. What do you have?
give
You have
us anything?
firebolt.
No, we were just
Fireball.
getting.
Yeah, I don't believe I have anything of that sort.
Food for them in return for cows.
There we go. Okay, so yeah, I'm not writing that down as
It basically is less expenditure cost
Yeah.
for us, basically.
I'm not writing them down as a supplier then.
Yeah.
Cool.
Laurel, do you use ammunition at all?
Not really. I have a sling. That's really it.
I guess I'll keep
wouldn't say
this
so.
on the back burner for now.
Yeah, I guess we're going back to Finrastra and having a nice night's sleep.
Yeah.
So by the time you get back, the cows are gone.
Please quiet.
Yeah.
Sorry, Tish, could I have the DMG, please?
Yeah, I'll go and get it then.
Thank you.
Yeah.
You will
So-
see, not the green enchantress, but another dryad, essentially watering your garden. So she's sort of just walking around, sort of like sprucing up the garden, basically.
What time is it?
It's probably 8-9 o'clock at night.
Okay, I might help her for a bit.
Okay. Like the inside of the discs have not natural sunlight, but they switch on the lights at some point at night, so it feels like natural sunlight even though it's quite late.
Healthy.
God, this bell.
There's a sarcasm in there.
All right.
That bell is insane.
If it does what I think it does, yeah.
It says on fire. Your distance.
Yeah, it's the fire variant, so it's 25 strength.
Yeah, okay, cool. So,
How is everybody feeling about doing another quest? Come morning.
In the morning? Yeah,
Yeah.
I suppose.
I'm going to look at my agenda.
I'm liking that we haven't killed anything. I have a good feeling about you guys.
yeah, it's no fun.
Yeah.
Good luck.
My character has a good feeling.
Derek goes,
No,
we've made
no,
so
she
many
made really good
friends
stuff."
today. We've met some new smithers. Oh, I love meeting new smithers, he says. Granted, they weren't really good on conversation.
It's a shame we didn't send Patrick to them. He could have corrected their grammar.
Derek just rolled his eyes at this. Patrick.
He's gone now, Derek. You don't have to worry about it.
Thank God! Bloody annoying he was.
Thank you,
I
Tish.
know, he just wouldn't stop talking.
Heaven forbid. What's the matter? I can't find it.
No, I'm now looking up something else.
Not looking at your monk tricks.
Would you like to do a blood ritual?
Not tonight. I think tonight we'll have a.
What a question to ask someone.
Tie tonight.
Why
I
would you
think.
do a blood ritual?
Because we got a cool rabbit thing,
And long sword.
a long
What
sword,
would you get out of a blood ritual?
3 magic cows. I'm
Why would
forgetting
you-
some stuff here.
I got a
Why
coin.
would you wanna?
Just a coin.
Oh yeah, you got a coin.
Literally a coin.
I've had nothing but
No,
crap out
none
of
of
it.
You have, haven't you?
You could have stomped a green baby.
No, not in character. You didn't hear nothing.
Who are you worshipping to do these rituals?
No one. Do you know
We're
what?
doing it. We're
you know
typically
what?
doing a
I think
natural
we will
ritual
tonight.
that Hags
Yeah.
do.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
Yeah, come on, just
Yeah.
a drop of blood in a bowl,
Yeah.
it's fine.
We'll
God,
do
you
it
have to
first.
do in this.
Yep.
Can I have a drink first?
Yes.
No.
I've never done this before.
What do you want to drink?
Oh, I'd like some ale.
Ale.
Oh God, you're a halfling. I'm gonna write another table.
Yep.
I've still got the other
And
ones.
do we have the giants with us? Did you say?
No, you
No.
don't.
Oh, damn.
I mean, you could have made them live in your accomplice, but
It's going to cost a lot of money to
it's going
run.
to cost a lot of money to feed them. Cook. Can I borrow a pencil? I need
Make another table.
another table.
I'll probably see the ritual.
So many
roll
new
and sort of-
things today. This is so exciting.
Yeah, good.
High pitch squealing.
I'm happy with this belt.
Yeah. Shiny.
I thought monks use decks though, don't they?
I've also written out my room. I've put in my room because my room is my room. And it's got locks on
Plus
everything.
the hit or whatever.
I can get into whoever's room I want.
Oh, mine's
Cheese door. Ooh, what shinies can I take? Fuck, they'll know it's me.
The other problem though is here is that if you try to do anything of ill intent towards me and my belongings, I get immediately woken up.
Yeah, I know, yeah. That's fine.
Okay,
That's why you're
how
in the house.
How are we really doing this blood ritual?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
are you whose blood are we using?
Everyone's again, probably.
No, I'm not taking part.
You're not doing it this time. Oh, come on. Look what happened last
Why
time.
don't you want to take your part?
Just, I got a crappy coin.
I'm gonna.
It's an old crappy coin.
Yes. Well, we don't know what it
Titch is
does.
going first.
Well,
Okay, so you are.
you said there was cows before.
Yeah.
What happens if the cows come again?
We'll sell them to the people. who give us
The
food.
new cows.
Yeah, we'll have different cows.
Yeah, but we're not going to kill them, are we?
No.
You get 500 gold.
Oh, nice.
500.
500 gold.
Oh, sweet. I'm even richer. Thank you. That was a nice one. See, you get nice stuff. I got a pile of gold.
Okay, I'm trying my blood again.
Oh,
It did not go well last time.
No, it didn't.
This is.
Go on, give her another baby and really
No,
freak
that
the
was
druid
hag
out.
blood. That was hag blood.
Really freak the druid out because we got a curb stomp it.
We could send it to be raised by giants.
This giant raised
Fuck
flag.
yeah.
You get 20 electrum.
Oh,
So
what's
what?
that in real money?
I think 1 electrum is like 100 gold.
Nice.
I
That's
think is
alright.
it?
That's
Oh no, it's in one gold 10 electrum. Sorry.
It's in
Yeah,
no,
one.
Electrum is
is it
5.
gold.
It's either 5 gold or 5 silver. I can't remember.
Platinum is the biggest, isn't it?
It goes copper, silver, electrum. It's 5 silver.
Oh, so you get 50 electrum, which essentially equates to 5 gold. No, 25 gold.
cool.
Anyone else want to try a blood ritual?
Yeah, I like new things. I like trying new things. So many new things.
Poke.
You get a red cap.
Oh, piss off.
Do you know what red cap is? It's do you know like a garden gnome?
Yeah.
Think one of those,
Oh.
except with a garden hoe, and it's kind of just really annoying. Combination of a garden gnome and Santa's little elf with a garden home.
Screw it, that's coming off.
Okay.
So he goes, "Ow, where am I?
Broken to my mind.
You're in a
Sorry.
city.
I'm thinking of my
Oh,
my
well,
shielding.
what am I doing here?"
I've got a.
Oh, I
I'm a king.
got peer pressured into a ritual.
No, I'm not that tired.
There's not something you hear every day.
No, there's
But
been
I've
a
got
lot
the
of new
other
things
things
to me
on.
today.
Can I go?
I don't know. You can do what you want.
Okay,
You
bye.
could tend the garden.
No, he's disappeared.
Bollocks.
He wanted to go.
I pay you.
No, he seemed nice.
Well, that was fun.
Well, today was a fun one.
Again.
Yeah,
What again?
I am anyway.
Oh God.
I'm not. I'm
Oh,
forgot
you
my
get-
name. I'm gonna try and say it. Oh boy.
Oh, you get 500 gold again.
Oh fuck yeah.
This does seem like quite a bit of fun. Can I try again?
You're all going to be running out of blood soon.
I'm not.
No, but you could. Yeah, do you want to go again?
Yeah, go on.
It's yeah.
Go again.
Anemic.
See if we can break.
I can't believe this. You get another red. Card.
Do you want to roll again?
Yeah, I've rolled 4 times in a row.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's
20.
It's the same one.
Yeah.
And it's just come back.
So hi again. Oh, I was only here 2 minutes ago.
Yeah, wasn't expecting you to come back, guys.
Two, four, one.
Is this normal?
Yeah, from time to time.
You must really like me.
I think my friend does. I think my friend wanted to speak to you actually.
All right.
You can tend the garden.
Only if you want to.
No. Shut up.
Oh yeah, I did walk past and I did see the dryad. She had nice ankles.
Yeah, she's very nice.
Yeah, she had nice ankles.
Do you want to go? Do you want to tend the garden?
Oh, if she's around more often. Sure.
Who?
The dryad.
Dryad.
Yeah, she's around all the time.
Okay.
Lying down, making-
Yeah, I love it.
lying.
It'll go out in the back. You now have a garden gnome, essentially.
Perfect.
Got a magical menagerie.
I love this garden.
I don't know what to write that down as.
It's free, essentially.
Things at the shop. Garden gnome.
No. but like living in brackets because you might get confused after a while. It's just like, do I just have an ornament?
Notes can get really weird, to be
Yeah.
honest.
Yeah, notes are brilliant. I've looked back on some from like 3 years ago and I thought, the fuck,
Yeah.
Right.
went on?
Any more sacrificing of?
No, I think I'm gonna go to sleep. now.
Because the guy came back, can I? And now he's staying here. Can I just try one more time for
Sure.
luck?
Yeah.
I like a luck as a halfling. We like luck.
Oh, a different number.
Hey!
You get quite a large egg.
Oh. Oh.
Ooh.
Uh-oh.
Cool.
Nature checks.
Yeah.
Do you want to do?
For those who are there.
That would be good.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll check nature as well.
Our guy.
Sure.
I forgot to take a 10.
Advantage.
Advantage?
Yeah, give advantage.
The same number, 10.
And guidance, bless, whatever.
Yeah, you need blesser, so you can add a d4 to that. Oh, and you can use guidance as well, you.
13.
So add another d4 as well, because you're using bless on top of guidance and bless.
14.
Oh god.
I love it.
I can't do an awful lot more.
It's when you touch it, it's not bestial in any way. You get the feeling it's scaled of some sort.
I thought so.
The egg scaled or thing that might
The
come
thing
from?
that might come out of it is scaled.
I'm gonna have a look as well then.
Nature check.
Yeah.
I'm not there, so I can't see. I am sleeping.
No, I don't know shit.
I'll go with
It's a natural one, baby.
14
And everyone else is doing
17.
it, you know.
Egg.
Yeah. It's an egg.
It's probably like wyvern or dragon in nature.
21.
Fucking hell.
Yeah, it's wyvern or
Cool.
dragon in nature.
You should keep this.
I'm gonna.
Chicken
It's the
wing.
dryad.
Question.
Nothing about ever awake or
It's
anything.
the important question what
That's-
colour
Nice.
is it?
Started, yeah.
What colour is
I'm
the
gonna
egg?
show it. It's like, hey, look.
What colour is the egg?
Bronze.
Bronze. That's
Oh,
fucking
that's good to
fire, baby.
And it's a
That's
nice
good
one.
to know.
Huh?
It's not chromatic.
Yeah, I'm gonna show her. Say, hey, look what I got from this blood ritual thing we've been doing.
Yeah.
She goes, blood ritual?
Yeah, it's really fun. You wanna try?
She says I wouldn't recommend that. That's
Yeah.
what hags do.
Find the details. Don't worry about it. It's fun.
It was a bit fun. I'm not gonna lie. We got this egg.
She says, so you're gonna have a new friend soon?
Yeah.
How soon?
I'm gonna.
Oh, probably
I was
probably in the
gonna
next
say,
couple of weeks.
I'm gonna make a nest by
fucking
my tent. So
pet
if you
with
want to
a
help me
dragon.
keep an eye on it, that'd be really cool. It'll be in my
Gonna have
tent.
it in a row.
Oh no, she says you'll need to
It's
bathe it in
Don't worry,
something
it's
extremely
extremely
hot.
weird, so it
Well,
takes over
for
the
now,
house
I'm
and
just gonna
destroys
leave
it.
it
Yeah.
because it's quite late.
I am gonna lend you my wand of fireball to keep the egg hot.
No.
No, just put it in the furnace.
Fireballs are more fun.
Yeah, but that's got.
Do you guys have a furnace in those?
Damn.
Speak to Derek, yeah. There's
Then
a whole
that's
forge
actually
inside the
even
shop.
Yeah,
That's
there's
actually really
a
better.
there's a whole forge. Yeah.
Oh,
Okay,
it's
my-
a dragon like. This
Yeah.
It's a
Yeah.
bronze one.
Yeah.
Do you know bronze dragons? Bronze dragons and Etheria go way back. Yes, they were really good
Oh,
friends.
really?
Yes.
Ah.
Dragons technically aren't a part of our plane. However, because since it's a demi plane, they come to visit from time to time.
Enchantress, do you have anything for fire?
And the Enchantress isn't there, it's a basic dryad. It's one of the messengers.
Yeah.
Anything for fight?
Ah.
Okay. Because I don't trust any of these guys yet.
But Derek recommends that it's to submerge it not in the furnace, but in boiling water essentially.
Oh, okay. Well, we'll put boiling water on the furnace and keep it going like
Yeah.
that.
It's my egg.
then.
Yeah,
Alright.
exactly.
Yeah, poached eggs.
I'm gonna keep it for now.
So in about a week and a half, you'll have a bronze baby basically.
Oh,
Oh
yay.
shit! How do you raise a dragon? Can we call it toothless?
Well,
I'm gonna go and meditate.
I'm gonna go to sleep.
Okay.
I'm gonna sleep.
Yeah.
yeah, I'm gonna finish pitching up my tent and getting that set up.
Right. Okay. So 2 quests left
If we want to do.
if you want to
Yeah.
do them.
I
So
think we got 4 more quests.
I think we do. Yes, you two need to tell me.
Makings of Wonders
Nope.
is
No,
no.
No,
What's that one?
he seems like a.
just working for an actor.
So yeah.
Suck a dick.
So like
I
one
get
of them.
people to work for me.
One of them is to help him with the play, and then another one is to deal with the Satan.
Oh, we've done the Sator one, haven't we?
No.
No.
What about the dwarf one?
The dwarf one. Yeah. Do you want to take that one? I can read you through word for word then if you want.
Yeah, let's take the dwarf one.
Okay. The Merchant Guild is looking for a lost merchant. He was meant to be here for a shipment of metal from the north. It's part of the treaty with the dwarves. If it's gone missing, it will cause political strain. He is a half-dwarf named Riddle Tinder. They have a general idea of the roads he would travel. He would have travelled the main road north wayward for 2 days or so, but eventually gone off the beaten path for a further 3 days before getting to the meeting point.
Cool. What's the pay?
Let's have a look. 250 gold each, so you would get 250 gold each, and 10% of the missing metal,
Oh.
which they say includes iron, copper, and a special alloy.
15%.
No, 10%.
15%.
10%.
It's not a negotiable.
It's non-negotiable.
Well, we'll just
Copper.
fail to find.
Copper, iron, and
Special
mysterious alloy.
Oh yeah.
Oh, we used to have a flying cat. We could have smuggled it into the city.
Well,
Although it drew a lot of attention flying cow. Especially one like a Patrick. Oh, it wasn't Patrick, was it? It was flying cow.
ooh, shiny.
Okay, so you want to do that one.
Yeah.
So, like I said, the general direction, you travel north on the main road for 2 days. Eventually the north, it ends, and sort of like there's beaten paths, and literally they go in general directions up the mountains towards the Dwarven territory. So they would recommend you go northward for 2 days. If you can't find anything by then, there's a village near the end of where the main road is, and you could basically start your search there, basically.
Okie dokie. Is everybody coming?
I'd say so.
I've got no reason not to.
Do you want to role play, or do you want to just go straight there? By the way, where is our subs?
I did say that we took too long ordering and they closed like halfway through the order.
Oh, never mind then. Too late now.
Oh,
I wasn't paying attention. I was busy. We can get McDonald's on the way home. Don't really want a McDonald's though. Oh, we can do a food shopping anyway. Anyway, I'm ranting. Right, okay. So do you want to? We can role play night by night, and you can have conversations and flesh out characters, or we can just go straight there.
No, I think it'd be good to do the role play night by night.
Okay. So who wants to roll perception for the first day?
I'll do it.
Nothing happened up till now, is it? I'm guessing then. There we
They've
are.
just decided to roll now instead of. What was it?
13?
13 total. Okay. Yeah, nothing. You sort of like go on the main road, and every once in a while you tell your party to quieten down slightly as you walk maybe a little bit off the off the main road, and then back onto the main road. You miss a couple of like dire wolves and stuff like that, but nothing like out of the ordinary. Mostly wildlife essentially. You get halfway on the main road and set up camp. Who wants to do the 2 night shifts?
I'll take one of them. I'll take the first.
Okay, roll perception.
A natural one.
Oh.
That is +1, so it's a total of 2.
it's in that one.
I am not doing this for any reason. Don't mind me.
Doing what?
Exactly.
You won't notice it, but the thing is, there's only a true critical fail for attack rolls.
Yeah.
On ability checks and saves, and that one doesn't mean that you fail. It just means that you're more likely to
Yeah,
fail.
you're probably gonna fail.
Right,
Yeah.
so we're gonna shuffle these and see what we get.
Remember
with
the
it.
guidance cantrips on people.
Okay. Burn guidance
Something a
can
bit
be something.
challenging.
Is that just save throws off and shift check ability checks? What's going on?
Yeah, is it everything?
That's a cantrip and be anything that you can overpower
Yeah.
that's a cantrip.
Yeah, that's a.
Touch one willing creature once before the spell ends. The target can roll a d4 and add any number rolled to one ability check of its choice.
Won't be interesting.
Jesus.
So this is
Can I wake up? I
same
gotta do a
It's like
perception
a-
check.
Poor man's bardic inspiration.
Yeah, that's pretty good. I like that. Pretty cool.
Yeah, let's do that one. I
Uh-oh.
like that one.
You're about to see the savagery of a fight. Uh-oh.
I need to like start writing stats now.
I got stuff to pass.
Okay,
The death sticks.
so
I'm not going to use it.
you have a weapon warning though.
Yes.
So you hear your little tingle tingle.
It wakes up everyone.
Okay.
It's just that I have advantage on initiative. These guys do not.
Well,
And out of the shadows comes...
Basically, saying in your head, "Wake up! Someone's coming to get you."
And out of the
it's really
shadows...
creepy.
Yeah, no, isn't it just?
and out of the shadows, 3 of these.
3 of these. They're minotaur looking. I have no idea what they are.
Werewolves.
Oh god. Oh, brilliant.
Oh, God damn it, the name's at the bottom.
Nature check to see if I identify it before saying out that name.
Yeah.
I will cast guidance.
Guidance,
Uh,
everyone.
Is guidance an action or bonus action?
If you want to use miniatures.
Yeah, I don't know what that is. That's a 9.
An advantage?
No.
No,
No!
not that quickly.
Do
Do you
you
want
want to roll initiative first?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, plus 7.
That's
Oh
been a
yeah,
bad
that's
initiative.
21.
We'll go around the table.
Move
So-
this stuff out of the way.
Warwick?
13. I take it
Five.
when you're in some sort of.
16.
How many did you say were coming out? 3.
3.
Yeah, okay.
Garviel?
Garviel, I had a 21.
Kylan?
20.
Okay. And
You were out in.
Kira 11.
That's mine.
Perfect.
So you've got your tent there.
So 1, 2, 3 for the wereballs.
The black dots.
Yeah, essentially.
Kira, where's your model? Cranium and anti-tent. That's your tent. There we go.
Okay, so top of the round is Garfield.
Garviel.
Garviel.
Garviel. So I see them sort of strolling out of the forest towards me like that, is it?
You don't see them, but you know that there's something coming.
Yeah, the warding has gone off.
Alright, okay. So in that case, it's going to be a proper look. Can I see where they are? I have got.
Are you you're not in a tent, do you?
No, I am.
You're
on
the only one
so,
outside.
yeah.
Yeah, you would have. Yeah, sorry, you would have seen.
So I
them.
can see them coming at me. Guys, there's these things coming at me, coming towards us. Hello?
Out in a sec.
Hello?
Initiative order. Out in a sec.
Yeah. Hello? They're not responding. Shall I kill them?
Might as
I,
well.
I would
Okay.
put on my cloak, but I've got to wait for initiative for that.
Yeah. Yeah, it's going to be a straight kill.
Yeah, okay. Which
Yeah.
one are you hit in first?
Middle.
So
What's that?
I'll number them. So I'll say 2 is in the middle.
Cool. That's 7 plus 10, 17.
Jesus, okay. Yeah.
That's 10.
Yeah. Dex-based weapon.
Nuts.
Fire.
There you go, Stu, so you can see how I've numbered them.
Okay.
Lightning, and now
If
I
you
need
look up.
2d8.
Oh, I'll figure it in a minute.
Fire and lightning, respective colours there. This is plus 7. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Plus 7 puts me on 23.
How much is that as piercing?
8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 of it.
So 17 is piercing, so that is. And then how much was the elemental?
2 fire, 4 lightning.
Okay, so.
That was my first shot.
Yeah.
Second shot, same guy.
Okay.
Oh, how bad did he look from that one?
Damage, not bloodied though.
Okay, I'll go for that one. Natural 19, unfortunately not a crit for me yet.
Oh, that's a shame, isn't it?
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 17.
Is that piercing again?
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 13 is pierce.
So that is, and how much is that on that for?
3 fire, 1 light.
So that is 4.
And how bad does he look now?
Now he looks bloody. So.
Now he looks like shit.
Yeah.
I will then put my last shot on number 1.
Okay.
19.
Yeah, hit.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 2 7s are 14. That's 15 in total.
Piercing.
4, that's 11 piercing.
Yeah.
3 light, 1 fire.
Okay.
And that's all I can do.
Kaylin up next.
Yeah, for all intents and purposes, you hear what a gun sounds like.
Right.
Okay.
That's-
This is your first
because
time,
this is your potentially your first time hearing a gun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you hear a gun and you smell the sulphur.
Alright. Already like fairly scared from hearing the shouting and everything. I'll just literally get off my bed, pull up my hood, so I'm now invisible. And then I'm gonna walk out the tent. I'll go 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. So I've got some range.
Yeah.
I've used my action to pull up my hood, so I don't have anything for a bonus action. So
Nice.
pass the turn.
Um,
But they so we're painting me to the tent. I imagine they have no idea I'm there.
Ty.
Or you're not doing anything with it. Or you're holding.
Oh, it's an action to pull up the hood.
Oh, fair. Okay. Oh yeah, now you're like invisible. Isn't
Yeah.
you?
Great invisibility essentially.
Nice.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25. I am going to channel divinity.
Oh. The middle one looks like shit.
The other one you hit was number 1, right?
Yeah.
So, an action, choose one creature you can see within 30 feet of you. So,
Mhm.
number 3.
Yeah.
The next time you or an ally hits the cursed creature with an attack, that creature has vulnerability to all of that attack's damage.
Right, so double
And then
damage.
the curse ends.
Okay. Double
The
damage.
next time it takes a hit.
Double damage.
And that's me.
Okay, good. That would be Warwick next.
Roll out of bed and out.
Knock Tayo
Yeah.
down.
What do I see?
Three werebears. Number 2 is looking somewhat damaged. The other 2 look relatively fine.
So he's marked for death.
Is that visual?
He wouldn't know that because he's in the tent. Isn't
Yeah.
he?
But I would go for the closest one.
Was it
As I move forward, I'm
visual
going to
effect?
take a couple of shots at number 3.
Shouted out. That one is already dead. Because even if I didn't hit it before the thing ends.
Go with sharpshooter, why not? 18 to hit.
Yeah, hits.
So d6. 20 damage.
And that's doubled.
Doubled and also magic for purposes of resistances.
Rolled a 3, 20 damage.
I've got +7 damage. If I go sharpshooter, that's an additional +10. Yeah. For only -5 to hit.
Yeah, okay.
Second shot on it.
Sorry?
23
Oh yeah, makes sense.
to hit.
We should make that as well, isn't it?
That's a 21 damage.
Yes.
I'm gonna spend a key point to unarmored strike to do 2 unarmed attacks against it. That's a
Oh, how much? But that was all piercing.
no
wasn't it?
magical.
All magical.
All my weapons now count as magical
Oh,
for
right,
purposes of overcoming damage resistances. So 27 to hit.
Yeah, it's great. Yeah.
Yay.
Sorry, monks are busted. 10 plus just need to work this out.
How dare you?
There it is. 19 damage.
Yeah, dead.
I'm going to take my final 5 foot of movement and punch number 2
Yeah.
with my other flurry of blows for 20 to hit.
Yeah.
14 damage,
Yeah.
and that's it.
Kira?
Yeah, that's me. I'm gonna jump and get out of bed after hearing foreign sounds. So first of all, that'll be the first 5 feet. Would I presumably have the components so obsidian?
Do you have your focus?
Yes.
Then you wouldn't need
Counts as.
components. Yeah.
Oh yeah, druids.
Yeah.
It counts
Druids.
as,
Yeah.
Yeah, nice. So I'm gonna get out and guess I'll have to be here, and I'm gonna use erupting earth basically around here. So if they
I'm
can make
I'm not familiar with this. spell.
so if they need to make a dex save,
Yeah.
I make basically 20 yards difficult terrain. So I do it
So it hits me as well.
kind of.
That's fine.
Well, no, because the range is 120 feet, so I could do it basically kind of.
I don't care if I get hit with it.
It's cube based, I guess. It's cube. Balls.
Don't worry about hitting me with a dex space.
No, I'd really rather not, because if you fail it, you take 3
You
d12s.
honestly. Oh wait.
No, I won't.
Oh no, she wouldn't know that though, would she?
Yeah, but I say,
True, yeah.
yeah, you don't know,
Yeah, I
you don't know it, but I'm.
Well, it doesn't have to be in a square grid, by the way. You could go like that in a straight line.
Yeah.
Oh,
it
true.
It can be a cube in any
Yeah,
way,
do it,
shape,
shape,
or form.
form.
that you-
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
then,
Like
yeah,
that.
basically then it'll just be like this, and basically creates difficult terrain.
Yeah.
Each creature in the cube's area must make a dex
How
save.
big is this
They
cube?
both failed.
Nice. And
Huh?
both of them then
20
take 3d12 damage.
Yeah, so you roll that.
So, yep, let me just get the damage. So, for the first one,
I like that.
yep. First one takes. Well, let me see if that actually hits first. That'd be smart.
Oh, no,
so-
if the dex sales fail, so it automatically hits.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah, it's
If
not a
it-
spell attack, yeah.
So,
Yeah, if a spell imposes a save,
So
you don't have to roll to hit.
29 damage, the first one.
But they both take 29. You
This is each. This was. There was like. Yeah, it was a really. Like,
Okay.
it was a really good roll.
That's really good.
29, yeah.
And then the other one is not so high. The other one. Oh, that's not bad actually. 19 for the other one.
When it hit,
They would hit the same damage, I believe. So,
Uh,
say they
so-
both take 29, I believe.
It's 3d12 in that whole.
Because it does 29 damage for the whole area, and that's a
Yeah,
specific
it doesn't
says
really
each time.
specify.
So yeah, they both take 29.
Yeah.
It says.
So 2 is dead.
Wait, each creature in the cube's area must make a dex save. It takes 3d12 bludgeoning damage.
Yeah, so they all take the same damage.
Cool.
So yeah, the
Yeah, that thing is
Wow.
sick.
2 is dead.
I like that.
Yeah, it's sick.
Yeah.
I'm preferring this as opposed to my usual axes.
Nice.
Yeah, it's their turn.
Well,
Well,
It's
it's it's 10.
going to run away.
Yeah. 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. And that's as far as it gets. Can I do anything
Oh.
ranged? No, past the turn. So it will go up. It will go up to Garfield. Garfield. Garfield.
Garfield.
Garfield.
The tents and get shot fired.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25. And shoot.
Okay.
First shot, plus 10.
We're going to leave witness. then.
5, yep. Hits. Well, 15.
Yeah. Hits,
Yeah.
yeah.
For a 12, 19, 20, 21, 2, 3, 24 in total. 19 piercing. 4 light, 1 fire.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Second shot is a natural 18.
Yeah.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 in total.
Is that piercing or?
13 is piercing.
Okay.
3 fire, 2 light.
And my third shot is a 13.
Yeah, that hits.
Oh, jeez. Alright.
Yeah, that natural armor is quite low.
Yeah, okay. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 13 piercing.
Yeah.
2 light, 4 fire.
It's dead.
Dead.
Just dead.
And as a bonus action, as the shot is gone, it's a flick of the thing out, reload, bonus action, ready to go again.
Right, okay then. Do you want to stop there?
Yeah, I'll have to go get my bus.
Alright, okay.
I'm guessing we're out of initiative though.
Yeah.
Yes,
So
good time.
All that's left to do
Is
is
loot
loot
the
the
bodies.
bodies.
It's probably the person Kira's properly killed, so that'll be fun for her.
As soon as I hear that they're all gone, I guess I'll save charge on the hood, so I'll just take it and take it down.
Fair, nice, happy days.
Titch, where is your restroom?
Straight up, not the door right in front of you, it's the door to the side of it. Yeah.
Go yourself first. Hang on, I'll get this out of the way so I don't have to go back twice.
What are we looting, Stu?
roll investigation.
Other places to put my legs and balls.
Let me go.
Sure, have some help.
Cool, with a counter.
That's his first.
15.
So the second door.
Straight up all the way, keep going, not the one
16.
right in front of you, it's the one.
So you get.
With +3, so my best is 19.
I'm sure so they've got axes, I guess they... You get 3 great axes.
Oh yeah.
Into the shop.
Into group. That one's actually got to go into group first and then into shop, unfortunately.
You get...
How many great axes, sorry?
3. You get 6 tusks.
Ooh.
3 tusks.
No, 6. So they've each got 2 tusks. So you get a total of 6.
Sweet.
And you also get some leather armor. Doesn't really say what leather armor though. I'm guessing that
just
genetic-
means leather armor.
just leather armor.
Oh, it's gonna be good when we're finished with it.
Yeah.
3, yeah.
You get 3 leather
Sweet.
armors.
Yep, done.
And that
Idea.
is, they won't, other than that, they won't carry anything but
No.
gold or anything.
Shame. Nice, done. Group stuff.
There we go.
Tidy.
And that is to finish off.
Where's the subway at?
Like I said,
Yeah.
they closed halfway through the order, so they
Oh, no way.
couldn't
I
do
didn't
the
hear
order.
that. Sorry about
I didn't hear it
Oh,
either, to be
yeah.
honest.
Oh.
I was sure why I just asked it like 10 minutes ago. What is
that.
it?
Sorry.
It's fine, don't worry. What did it?
Happy days.
Right, okay, so how was that for you guys? It was more like do this, do that this session.
Yeah, happy days. And
I mean,
Yeah,
well, I suppose
good.
the first first hour was role play.
Yeah, that's
so
good.
It wasn't too bad.
No. tidy. Okay.
Any questions at all, or any problems?
Not that I can think of.
We're all happy. How was the first session?
Yeah, awesome.
Right, okay.
Yeah, awesome. Thank you.
Like I said, I was just telling them this one was a bit heavy on the go here, go there for this
Yeah.
one.
Heavy
But
on-
it's usually more for the first hour where we did heavy role play. It's more that usually, isn't it?
Yeah, no, it's really awesome.
Ammo.
I like what I see with my eyes.
Minus 6 is 24.
As long as everyone's enjoying, I don't mind. Okay?
Yeah.
We're all
I
good
am
to go.
definitely
General
teaching
information
this
about my character: his fighting style is a bit like John Wick. If you've seen the
Yeah.
John Wick's films, yeah, his fighting style is a bit like that, just with a hand crossbow instead of a pistol.
Well, for the people that came in, at one point we did have like 5 viewers.
Nice.
So I don't know. Bye.
Bye guys.
Bye.
Ta-da.
Yeah.